Come on now. That wasn't cool. Anyway, shout outs to anyone who's mature who's gonna come up here and not do nothing like that, because that was stupid. We're trying to have a healthy conversation. All right. Community driven. Women choosing careers over marriage. We want to get people's opinion. So still waiting on my co-host to join. We're going to make this a good stream, good show. There's order and structure to this. You know what I'm saying? You're right, Big Purd, exactly. They're doing it for dumb reasons. You know what? That might have been actually a kid, and kids ain't supposed to be on stream anyway. That's a whole fact. And Big Purd, if you want to request to join, you could join up. There we go. All right, let me go ahead and accept you.
Well, hello. Thanks for adding me up.
No problem. How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing marvelous. I just recently moved in my 5-bedroom home. My husband paid for everything. It's beautiful.
Congratulations.
Well, he'll be my husband in October. I call him my husband all times.
Yeah. No, congratulations. There's a lot of toxic TikTok panels on here. I'm definitely not one of them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like adults, should come up here, have a conversation without yelling at each other, cussing at each other. I mean,
Right.
I live a very positive life, so
Right.
I typically have my co-hosts up here, my friends up here, as well as people who I don't know, but I like to have people that I do know up here, a combination. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the topic today is, are women choosing career over marriage? Not obviously all women when I ask this question, but in today's modern time, are women, rather, are they preferring to pursue a career over marriage, or is it that they're pursuing it now and then just pushing marriage a little further back than the old days? That's all. What you think?
I feel like they are choosing careers over marriage, and it's because the modern day women, the matriarchy and the feminists, they're doing that to destroy the younger generation, and is all to become masculine. At the end of the day, a man doesn't care about how much money a woman makes.
Right.
At the end of the day, nowadays, these women, they're saying, oh, I don't need a man. I can go out here and do this and do that, not realizing that they are in survival mode.
Right.
Hold on one second.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, sister sound like she was cooking. Definitely want to hear her finish that, because I definitely peep what she's saying. I could definitely respect that. Yeah.
They're in survival mode, and they try to say things like, oh, I'm equivalent to a man, or a man and me are the same, when biologically a woman and a man aren't the same, and any high value man is not going to look at a woman and say that we're the same.
Yeah. So I definitely get that. Your perspective is spot on, and it's not just spot on because you say so. It's because that's what the stats are saying. They're saying that that today's, like you said, like you put, modern women are choosing careers, pursuing a career over marriage, whether they just don't want the marriage at all, or what they're doing is they're just putting it on the back burner today versus the woman of probably 20 years ago. And when I ask this question, I don't pose it like as if it's like a bad thing, in the sense of like I'm saying women can't have a career. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that what you're seeing is an agenda being pushed that, hey, you don't need the man no more because you're making money now, or more money than you've ever been. I mean, have you seen stuff like that?
Oh, of course I've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I see it every day.
Yeah.
My daughter, she's 5 years old and she's in pre-K. She just turned 5 years old. And they have this thing at school to where the teacher asks the kids, what do they want to be when they grow up? And she told her teacher that she wants to be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
And the teacher tried to drive her head and spin her head around to make her, say, well, you don't need to be a wife and you don't need to do this, you don't need to do that. And it hurt her feelings so bad that she came home. And we had a conference like, I'm teaching my daughter to be a wife. I tell her
Right.
all the time, Kennedy, you're going to get older. You're going to have a husband. You're going to have kids that you're going to have to learn to cook, clean, and do all these other things.
Mm.
And I'm instilling this in my 5-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, look, having families is obviously a choice, but it's definitely community based. You know what I mean? In the sense that, if somebody wants to have a family, I mean, you shouldn't say stuff like, "Oh, why should you want that? Why should you have to do that?" Because I've never heard them tell a boy, who said he wanted to be a father and a husband, in school, a teacher talk him out of being that. You know what I'm saying? I've never heard of that. I mean, I don't have any kids, so that's probably why I haven't heard of that. But I mean, I don't know. And I saw someone in the comments say, if a woman has a career, then there's no benefit for her to be married. See, that's basically saying the money replaces the man.
The thing is, have you noticed when a man gets money, he shares, and when a woman gets money, she's really selfish?
Ooh. There's an old saying that says, and it was said by a woman, right? And that is, his money's our money, but my money's my money. You ever heard that before?
I heard all the time.
That is
all the time.
that is so sad.
And I say all the time, it's so crazy that nowadays modern day women require for men to have 6 figures and they can't even rub 2 nickels together.
Mm. Yeah. For the person in the comment section, yeah, she has a family. They're asking if you know why? Because your point of view is fair and you're holding people to task. So, I guess they want to prove that you're single.
Let me explain myself, because I did put my situation on TikTok, and I feel as though my story can inspire and teach younger women, because I am only 25 years old.
Right.
But I didn't always have this mindset.
Right.
I used to be what I call modern day women all the time. I used to be a pillow princess. I used to go around and, oh, I'm so pretty, and I don't need an N word for this. I don't need an N word for that. Oh, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. And the results that I was getting was guys who wanted to smash my face into a pillow and, go behind and give me a good time. So I got tired of that. I got tired of blaming other people for my piss poor decisions. A man that wanted absolutely nothing to do with me. He didn't want to be my friend. He didn't want to be my lover. He didn't want to be my acquaintance. He told me about myself and it hurt my feelings so badly. And I started to implement the things that he was saying to me. And let me tell you something. When I started implementing the things that he said to me, 3 months later, a man held my hands, looked me directly in my eyes, and said that I'm going to marry you.
Yeah. It sounds like intentional, Definitely.
Now, here I am in a 5-bedroom house, living on land. Don't have to work if I don't want to. Working is optional for me. I'm gonna go to school though. Just doing the basic things, cooking, cleaning, making sure the house is good while he go out and do his thing. I have nothing to worry about. And I get called a pick me and a choose me. I'd rather be called a pick me than a skip me.
Listen, on this platform, the ones that they call pick me's, we look. It's been used as a shaming tactic by haters. That's just my opinion. You know, they'll call you a pick me if you hold other women accountable of wrongdoing. If when you speak for and advocate for marriages, you know, between the man and the woman, they'll call you a pick me for that. You know, yeah, I'm not gonna do that here. And then let's just say someone is a pick me. Hey, look, uh, most as a good thing, we like pick me's. I don't care what people say. All right, all right.
And
My co-host is here. I'm gonna let him talk. Mr. Yard Chat, you there?
Yeah, give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Yeah, no problem. All right. So, all right, I'm gonna ask you a question, Big Purr.
okay.
Um, at what age of your life did you desire getting married and starting a family?
I desired it at the age of 24 last year.
Okay.
I realized because it's a story. I was so blind to the fact I didn't realize what was really going on for real. I wasn't being honest with myself, you know, and because I wasn't being honest with myself, I couldn't even be honest with others. I had to wake up and smell the roses. I had to stop pointing the finger and blaming everybody else when the main person that is responsible for my actions is in the mirror.
Okay. So okay, I had a question, but it lost me. Let me kind of do it this way. So I appreciate what you're saying. Did you have any good examples growing up of a healthy marriage?
No, I did not.
Okay. You have any married friends?
I did not. At the time, I did not. But now I have two friends who are married. And I cut off all my so-called friends. And I say that word very, poorly. I cut them off because they were, no good to me or my relationship. And there was nothing that I was benefiting from being friends with them.
Okay. All right. Looks like we have somebody new joining the panel. Shells, are you there?
Yes. I was scrolling my For You page and I came across your prompts.
I appreciate that. Before you get into the conversation, the topic are women choosing careers over marriage. What's your opinion on that?
I think so. I don't think it's at astronomical numbers, but I think the thing is a lot of women would either, be single and, prosperous in their career or, I okay. I think that a lot of women don't really see the benefit in getting married anymore because of probably their own experiences with, the men. It's like, it's a lot going on right now, like as far as our community and relationships. I can't speak for, the collective like YT community or any other ethnicities or whatnot, or nationalities. But I will say in our community, I feel like a lot of Black women are like, hey, you know what? Like, if I don't get what I feel like I need from a man, then hell, I'm gonna be okay. I'm just gonna, go get a career and just, do that. But I feel like people should do, like, women should do both. Like, you can still have a career and be married. Like, I feel like that would be a better fulfillment. But I definitely understand when women choose not to do it. because their own experiences. Like a lot, it comes down to a lot of men nowadays, and I know this is probably going to be a controversial statement, but a lot of men are like requiring a lot and don't really provide a lot. They're more of like, hey, it's going to be a little bit of 50-50. And women are like, hell no, I'd rather just get a roommate. Why would I want to go 50-50 with you? I feel like it takes a lot. It takes from a man, takes away from a man like ability to provide, which, that's what, you got men for, is you want to take a step back. Not saying he has to pay 100% of the bills, but I do feel like sitting up here requiring a woman to go 50-50 and this, that, and the other. And then some men are like, well, at least you're getting a discount. You only have to pay 50% instead of, 100%. We will get a roommate. Like, people don't realize it's a lot with relationships. So if you're not getting anything out of it besides a discount, they want a discount, they can get roommates. Like, and it'd be less stressful financially, like if that's the route they're trying to take. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of men out there feel like they're the prize. And, and a lot of men are saying, oh, well, y'all feel like y'all are the prize.
I have a
Okay,
question. I
but
have a question to that when you're done.
okay, yeah, I'm done. Yeah, I went into ranting. My apologies, but
No,
yeah.
no, you're fine. So I have a question. So, what do you mean by someone thinking they're the prize?
Lackluster men. Most men that are the prize, they never say it. Just like me walking around, I'm black, I'm a black woman. It's clear that I'm black. Certain stuff speak for themselves itself. You don't have to, say, oh, I'm the prize. She got to do this, do that. Literally 100% of those men that's sitting up here talking about they're the prize aren't the prize. Because like I said, like real, men that are providers, he don't even have to be wealthy, but are providers and, have the skills to be a leader, because that's one of the things that a lot of like men don't know how to do nowadays. Like it's kind of weird. And I'm not saying all, it's a lot of men out there that, aren't like this, but a lot of them fail to have like that leadership skill within a relationship. And some women is like, shit, I'd rather just, be alone than being, a lot of them in their feminine era. Like, it's ridiculous.
And
I mean,
Shells, be
So,
careful with that S word, okay?
so the thing is with me. So you have an issue when a person says that they are the prize and they're not modeling out the behaviors of a prize, correct?
Big Purr, I don't think that's what she mean, because she didn't say anything about being against women who say they're the prize.
I mean, because the thing about it is, I'm not understanding why a person that says they're the prize is a negative thing.
I didn't say that it was a negative thing. I'm just stating, typically when somebody has to run around and say something, typically they're not that. I
But
didn't say it was
Oh,
negative.
real quick, do you feel that way? I have to get the lovely Mila next, but do you feel that way when women say they're the prize? Because that's what men have been hearing for centuries,
Yeah,
for years.
there's a lot of women out there. I just feel like, how about we say nobody's the prize, that both parties need each other? That's how I really feel. I'm not walking around, hey, I'm the prize, I'm this, I'm that. Like, people gonna be like, that girl ain't shit. Like, because it's like,
Shells, you got to watch your language, Shells.
because the thing about it is, if okay, the word prize, right? If somebody gives me a prize, that is something that is exciting. That is something that is good. So if a person represents themselves as a prize, and a prize is something that is good, exciting, and joyful, it's kind of, you say you a prize, okay, show me. And I do understand what you're saying, that, some people say they're the prize and they, that they don't be worth for, whatever. But I just
I'm just saying in general, like I'm more of an action-based person.
I get
Like
what you're saying. I get what you're
I
saying.
don't care, about words too much because people can sit up and tell you anything. I'm more of like, observing a person's actions and what they do versus just their words. So,
Right.
like I said, somebody that, walks around, like even let's say a doctor, if he most, because if you done been in certain, career fields or industries, you'll see the highest person in the room are typically more humble than the ones that's trying to get to that spot. So I wouldn't even use that as example, but I'm just saying in general, a lot of people should be more proactive in looking at people's actions versus their words versus now you can feel as though within that you're like, oh, I do have a lot of qualities. I mean, I feel like everybody should feel like that. I feel like that, but I'm not walking around leading with that. Oh, I'm the prize, so you should pick me. No, dude, like people see you for who you are based off of how you act and carry yourself.
All right, cool, Shells. All right, just mute up, okay? Hey, lovely Mila, you there? Lovely Mila.
I'm here.
How you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the panel. I like to explain the rules real quick before you get into the conversation, okay? All right. No foul language. Respect the host, which is me and y'all chat right next to me. Respect each other, one mic at a time. It's okay to disagree, but as long as it's, respectfully and, we still adults about it, all right? All right,
Yeah,
what's
I get it.
your,
I understand.
no problem. Coney, hold tight. And Zacchaeus, I'm going to get to you in a second, brother. What's your opinion on the topic? What are women choosing careers over marriage? What you think?
I feel like women only choose careers over marriage because men has done it. But you can also have your marriage and your career. You just have to know which one to put first. And I'm not saying it to disrespect the woman because I've been married for almost 12 years. And my husband done had 2 different businesses within these 12 years, and he helping me start my business. He didn't put his career before me and our family, and I'm not going to put my career before him and our family. Because at the end of the day, a career is just that. A family is forever.
I can rock with that. Coney, you there?
I am.
Hey, Coney. Welcome to the panel. I'm sure you've heard the rules. I'm going to just get straight to the question. Are women choosing careers over marriage?
Most of the women are. Most of the women are choosing career over marriage because of fear and wanting safety, but believing that safety can only come through the career. That's what I've noticed. And I liked what Lovely said. That was like giving me breath, just hearing that the marriage is the baseline they wake from, and they grow in the marriage when it comes to financially. So I like that.
I could get with that. I'm going to get back to you. Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus, you there, Zacchaeus?
Hey, what's good, man?
What's up, brother? My brother. Hey, man. I'm going to have you answer the topic, man. Are women choosing careers over marriage?
Yes, 100%. I won't say 100%. I would say about 75 to 80%. Yes, it's a fact because what do most women like? Security, right? Security. And if they can find a career or online or remotely online career or a career where they can make enough income to provide for themselves and their family, yes, they do it. They'll do it. There's more opportunities more than ever before. So yes, they are choosing careers over marriage because the number one thing is security for them. For men too, because some people have a fear of, you have to understand, some people have a fear of struggling. Some people have a fear of just struggling financially and struggling just to get by. And some people have that kind of fear. So what they do, and I'm supportive of it, they choose a career to secure themselves, because remember years ago, I'm talking back in the 1970s and before then, women were dependent on men to provide for the family at that point. And remember, I have to dig into history too a little bit. Remember where the welfare situation, where they had to keep, in order for you to get women to get security with welfare, they had, no man can be in the house. But in the 1970s, women evolved and got smarter than that. Said, listen, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have my career, and I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna have my career, and I'm gonna be a elite woman, and I'm gonna provide, and I'm able to provide even if the man is not there. So that in that sense, it pushed them and drive them to be career women, especially particularly black women. It drive them. Well, all women, and drive them to more so be evolved and to become independent and more want to do for themselves. They're more independent, not just to depend on one source. Because as you can see, how much the expenses are right now. So it's happening more than ever before. More than that, more than what you think. The percentage of women securing themselves financially is more than ever before. Even when it comes to entrepreneurship, more than ever before. So yes, they're choosing financial security more over marriage. Yes, that's a fact. Even when they're married. Yeah.
Do you think the reason why we're choosing, or I wouldn't say we're, because I want to have both, but do you feel like the reason why women are choosing careers over, marriages is because a lot of men don't have the skills nor the desire to, provide the basic essentials like security within a marriage or relationship?
I can somewhat agree. I can somewhat agree with that. Yeah. Yes.
Because speaking from a woman perspective, most women do want to be married. So it's
Yes.
not like, they're just like, oh, I don't want men anymore. I can do this on my own. They actually want that, but they don't want to do it with just somebody that is like, they don't want to go into a situation where it's like, it's not benefiting them. And just like, a man would definitely be benefiting, he would have his, the womanly aspect within that, because cooking, cleaning, kids, this, that.
That's a work in itself. That's a work in
These
itself.
that, but also people don't realize women are working too. The men is just literally, not saying that they're not doing nothing as far as the household, but they're just working. Women have to work, come home, get the kids, feed the men, do a lot. Like, we're wearing a lot of hats. So a woman is like, if I'm wearing all these hats, I might as well eliminate one. If I have a kid, okay, I just got to provide that kid. I got to worry about this man.
You have to look at the dynamics of the economy too, because the cost of living is tremendously high, right? So now, how much, and you have to look at percentage too. Like, how much men are 1%, are part of the 1%. 1% meaning rich.
I know
right?
A man does not have to be, it's plenty of men out there within other communities that's not rich, that's taking care of their family. You do not have to be rich to take care of your family.
Like myself, I'm working right now as we speak, and I'm taking care of my family. But it's a partnership. When you're married, it's a partnership. And some people, they look at situations where, and there's a lot of that going on. But if he's not making a certain amount of money, I don't want to be with him. But they have to understand that it's a partnership, it's a working together. And some people don't want to come into a relationship where they feel like they're struggling. Oh, I'm struggling. And you hear a lot of that online. You hear a lot of that on pop the balloon and certain shows and certain things like that. You hear a lot of that. Oh, well, how much? Well, what kind of career you have? And some men, they're staying away from marriage because of that situation. And some women say, you know what? I'd rather make it on my own because, he ain't making enough. So I'd rather choose a career for
Okay,
myself and
so
choose it on, so.
my thing with that is like, is it okay to like work a little bit more harder to provide for your family if a woman is making whatever? It makes it seem like the
Okay, I'm
women
gonna
are.
be really biased here.
Wait.
Why is
Hold on.
this so
Hold on,
hard?
Justice. Hold on. Before you cut in, can you just answer the question, and then you could join the conversation on women
It
choosing
is
careers
about
over
me
marriage?
answering the question.
Okay, but all right,
I
go ahead. I'm
don't
gonna let you
Cut
think
go.
everybody off.
Right,
well,
exactly.
there's a differential in both. I think a lot of women are choosing careers, and I think a lot of women are choosing marriage. So it's kind of pick or choose. But why is it so hard for a man to just step up and educate himself, get a degree, get a good job, and choose marriage? Because it's the men who are picking careers over marriage now.
Can I cut in on that?
Go ahead, lovely Mila, please.
It's not always the man that chooses the career over the woman. 9 times out of 10, the woman is saying, "Oh, I want this. I need this. I want this. I got this. You gonna do this for me, and this is what I want."
Right.
If he's not financially stable to do that, find somebody in your caliber. That's exactly how I feel. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon. You can speak how you can speak on whatever, how you grew up, what was taught to you, anything as far as that. But for me to tell a man what he gonna do with his
Okay,
money when
but
we have a family, that's a no
are
go. I'm
you
never gonna do that.
still like not silver spoon? Like, are you still poor?
Why does that matter?
Because it's your choice.
No, I work. I got my own company. Hello.
What I was just getting at is like, talking about Zach, or when me and Zach was speaking in regards to that topic, you said, men aren't making this, but like, what happens to like the go-getters, these men that actually are trying to like, out, because I'm not a feminist or none of that. I don't feel like I like a man to lead financially within a relationship. Like I can have my
Of
career,
course
but
you do,
you're
Brokey.
not,
Somebody kick her out,
bitch.
please.
If
No. Don't do that.
my apologies.
Lovely.
Yes.
Chill. I respect you. Don't say that, okay? I got out of here because honestly, I think that's a kid.
She
No,
came
I
in
was
wrong.
Yeah, she did.
I was talking about Shells. I didn't want her to, curse on the live again.
Oh, that was
That's
Shells
all.
who said that? Shells, don't
Yeah.
curse. Don't
That's
curse.
I didn't want
Yeah,
her.
that was
I don't
that
want her
was
to curse
me.
again.
That's
That's why I
why
said no. That's why I
I
said that.
yeah, that's why I went
Yeah,
ahead and apologized
yeah,
for that.
it's all good. Jessica sounded like she was 16.
She
Yeah,
probably is.
She might be,
yeah,
18, 19, but she's still like, she's
yeah,
probably one of those YT people that don't know nothing about anything outside of her community. So, she's very small minded, and like Lovely said, she probably grew up privileged and
Right.
just sees something,
Sometimes
sees
you gotta call
everything
it how
one
you see it.
sided.
You said
yeah.
what? I
I'm
said
May
sometimes
I?
you gotta call it how you see it.
I'm gonna let two men come up here. Yo, Win, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right,
Uh,
brother. Before answer the question before you get into the topic, okay? Are women choosing careers over marriage? Go.
I think women are choosing careers over marriage for the simple fact that she can control her destiny in her career. She can control her height in a career. She can't control that man. So, therefore, she's choosing her career over marriage. But what people are failing to realize in the economy that we live in, the prices of a house skyrocket. Um, just say the average home costs about 400,000. What type of man tax bracket are you going to get that's going to be able to pay for the house, the car insurance, and the food. So for the most part, it basically takes two for the most part in that dynamic in today's economy.
Yeah, I can feel that. Any questions for the ladies?
Well, a lot of women say that they want a man with a lot of money. Would you rather have that guy with a lot of money or that guy who's able to spend time with you?
I would choose time over money.
Money. Because if
I
you
would
got all
choose.
this leisure time on your hands, I feel like there should be a balance. Obviously, you don't want a man working 24/7, but I feel
But
like
you can't
yeah,
have
you
both. They
can.
say,
There's a lot of men
listen,
out here that make good money that's not working 24/7. Whether they have
can
to go
can
back and
can,
get their education, they have to get a
can
trade.
I
There,
can I give you a nugget real quick? Okay, so
yeah.
I'm a man that have a lot of money, but I don't have a lot of time because I have three
Okay, that's
hotels and
you.
21 properties. I have 3 hotels and 21 properties. So therefore, if somebody choose me, I don't have a whole lot of time to give in the quality time department because I'm gone. I'm between Florida, Oklahoma, and Atlanta.
Okay,
But you're
well, that's
financially,
you. That's you're not the average. You're not the average man. The average man doesn't own hotel or running hotels and 3 and 4 hotels and properties and all this stuff. I'm saying the average
but
man
you
that
said,
still makes
But Shells, the
financial.
average man is not desired anymore.
true.
Yeah, y'all are equating like at the end of the day. Why is it that Black women are leading in education and in financial stability? Like, so my thing is like, is it a us problem? Is it a y'all problem? Y'all are
Well,
men. Y'all
Wait,
are supposed to
here's
step up.
What's your source on the financial part?
Google it. Women, Black women are outperforming y'all financially,
I, okay, so let me give you
collectively.
this nugget. Let me give you this nugget. Now, your
Don't keep
concept
saying you're
has
gonna give
a
me a
little,
nugget.
yeah, your concept has a little truth only because I believe that there's power in reading. Women read more than men. So therefore they should be more financial stable than men. They should be. But when you
What?
look at statistic, it shows that a woman has to work 10 times harder just to get the job that a man does effortlessly.
I've been hearing it all my life from
But
my
why
grandmother.
So
aren't y'all getting these jobs though? Since it's easier for y'all than us.
why aren't you
Exactly.
supporting the man? Because you chose money.
Exactly.
Shells, where you
You
getting your
chose money
information
over
My
from?
name
power.
Because the
my name
Bureau
is
of Labor Statistics
Chelsea.
doesn't support what you're saying.
My name is Chelsea, and if you want to shorten it, it's Chelts. Who is Shells or whatever you keep saying?
Okay. When I read your tag, it says CHELS.
Hells,
So
Shells, not Shells. My
okay,
it's short for Chelsea,
all right,
not Chelsea.
relax. I get your energy is going up. You don't have to do that with me.
I'm
Thank
not
you.
trying to make my energy go up. I was just trying to correct you on mispronouncing my name.
Okay, I will call you Chelsea.
Okay.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, lovely.
Okay, I feel like for a woman to say that they want money when they're in a relationship with a man, I feel like it's money hungry.
Oh my gosh. Is money hungry
But
for me to want a man to provide,
Because
ma'am?
no, it's not. Providing and wanting money is two different things.
I didn't say okay, I
When he
apologize for
asked the
saying that I
question,
want
that's
the
what it
money.
came
I
out
should have
as.
said I want a provider. I shouldn't have said, I want the money. I just want a man to provide. Do what all these other communities doing. I hear, YT people, Hispanics. I got to take care of my family. You hardly ever, and not speaking on your situation because you are happily married, and it seems you from what you said, your husband provides and all that. But I'm saying I hardly ever hear a man saying, "Oh, I got to take care of my Black man saying." I got to take care of my family. I hear all these other men that's making it work.
you know why?
Who
Can I
are
tell you why?
who are you around?
Because
Yeah, that's
you
a good question.
dismissed him. You
Girl, what are
dismissed
you
him
talking
because he
about?
had
I
on a
am around people that are at a certain caliber. I'm just saying, y'all
you
are making it's coming across as y'all are trying to be pick Mishas. Like y'all know these men. If it was so good out here, then 26% of black women wouldn't be. It would the percentage would be up than more than 20% of black women
y-
expecting to be married. Come
because
on.
You remember what I said, Ho?
y'all have
Yeah, I
shooed
do.
them away
It's
because
it's
you
it's,
see
it's
a guy
coming out
with a
right now.
I told you.
you see those guys, you see a guy
Girl,
with a
I don't
Chipotle
know
shirt
what
on
you're
and you
talking
won't even
about.
look his way.
You okay, let me hold on for a second. I'm sorry, Win.
Yes,
Big
ma'am.
Purr, you are one of those women that are pygmishas. Sitting up here, like
Yeah.
if somebody has a rebuttal or somebody say, "Oh, she wants a provider," I'm sorry, you can't get providers. I'm sorry, you're the type of woman that would take care of a man, and I won't love, and then get mad because you ain't got nothing out of it but dick.
Oh,
What?
oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah, he kicked her out. She keep cursing.
Hey, let me bring some order to the panel right now. I don't appreciate that. That was very disrespectful. Shells, since you got so triggered because I called you that because of how it's spelled. The heck wrong with you?
Oh
I
my God.
don't appreciate that at all.
I'm
Hey,
sorry, Big Purr, that
can,
she even
hey, host,
disrespected
can
you
we
like
call?
that.
She
And
said
I
something
didn't
about
even do
pick
that.
Misha.
I'm sorry.
She said something about pick Misha. We're gonna give her a new nick. We're gonna give these females new nickname. Skip Misha. And I didn't.
Yo,
And
Yes.
peep game, man. Peep game.
skip Misha. Skip Misha. Skip
Peep,
Shell.
peep game, yo. I'm gonna say this real quick. And I'm gonna get to everybody, all right? Yo, she started the ad hominems first, right? She started it first. And you know what? I got her on her energy because so I mistakenly called her shells. And the reason why I said it that way is because of how it was spelled. If I was wrong, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I let that rock when she corrected me, and then she didn't do it in a nice way. But I still yielded and said, okay, Chelsea. And then she was cussing on here. No respect for the panel, no respect for because I'm sure she goes on other platforms and goes off on people. Come on, if you over 21, even if you're over 18, you could come on this panel and you could conduct yourself like an adult. Don't come up here like that.
Hey, host, she's still a skip Misha. She keep on
Oh
calling
no,
me.
I'm with you on that, brother. I'm with you on that.
Skip
All right,
Misha.
let
Skip
me
Misha.
let me get back. Let me get back to the show. Hey, brother, how do I pronounce your name?
It's granted.
Access granted. Hey, you want to respond to the question on women choosing careers over marriage? Go ahead.
Yeah, they definitely are. Definitely are. It's like they married to they'll get married to the career and all that and try to treat men as if as if we're accessories and all that, something just to have for the moment and all that stuff. And then it's like what was it back in the late 70s when they implemented a program where they said, well, I don't want you here as I'll be the father to the children. That's what they started doing. So like, they said, I don't need you to be the father. I'll be the mother and father at the same time. That's what they started doing. And then they felt like they can do everything. And guess what? Guess who was actually funding their escapades? It was actually the government. So they divorced their men. They divorced their men and got married to the government. And now, as we speak right now, as Donald Trump is doing it, he's actually filing for divorce. They're actually filing for divorce, and they don't like it, and they're not getting half.
Wow. Hey, Coney, you there?
I am.
Hey, Coney, can I ask you where you're from? Only because I hear an accent. Respectfully, where are you from?
Originally from Zambia, but I'm in the US.
Okay. All right. I was just curious. Hey, anything you want to ask anybody on the panel? Any questions?
So far, no.
Okay. I just want you to make sure that you join the conversation because, I liked your opening statement. and I think your opinion is very much needed. So I'm gonna get to somebody new who just joined the panel. Angie Monroe. Angie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Angie. Welcome to the panel.
Hi.
I'm sure you were listening, and I had to get rid of that person because she was very disrespectful.
You know, you guys both caught my attention.
Okay.
I do want to say, I do believe that you guys both had very valid points. I just believe that it was a miscommunication, like in terms of tone. However, I do believe that women. Can I just ask, before I even answer the question, where is everybody located? Are you guys up in the Northeast?
I'm
Are you
in
guys
Dallas,
down south?
Texas. Dallas,
Hey,
Texas. Yeah.
hey.
Houston.
Dallas,
So,
Texas.
Atlanta,
okay.
Atlanta, GA.
You guys are in the
Ah,
south,
forget Atlanta,
and
GA. Y'all, you like a corner. Y'all like a corner of our state.
you guys are in the south, and right now I'm using my professional voice because my New York voice is you know, a
You better
little
you better
masculine.
talk regular. We don't care what you
Well,
talk
Angie,
regular.
All right, so
I'm from New York. So
you
go ahead.
see now we could touch base.
There you
I
go.
do believe that women are choosing their careers over men. I do believe that a lot of people. It's not that I don't, and I do believe that that's the case due to what's going on. A lot of, and I like if we take a look at the mainstream media, we see a lot of broken homes and all these different celebrities having multiple different kids, NBA YoungBoy being one of them. What's the other one? Nick Cannon, and the list goes on and on. I believe that given the past and a lot that the black household, I want to bring it to blackness because we're all black here. I believe that sorry, I got anxiety, y'all. Bear with me. That
Well, you better calm
given
down.
the systemic, you know, and we're in a different time now, so we can't always blame it on that. But given the media, the systemic, what's the word, oppression, or how they split up our homes back in the day, and a lot of people ended up in jails, had a lot to do with that. Right now, what I see in every day, and given how my generation, because now I'm Gen Z, and my parents' generation was Gen X. My generation is they're not really focused on that. They're focused on they're very lustful. And you see a lot of the times, or when women, even back in the day, you see a lot of the times, or if they are stay-at-home wives or something, like a lot of the times they end up with the bitter end of the foot. And I believe they're doing that not to make sure that they're set up when they have kids. We are now entering the stage 5 of a developed. There are like different stages of economics, and we are about to enter stage 5. You know, you have the ones with the high births and high deaths. You have low births, high deaths. You know, these are all different things, and we are moving from a stage of where everything was like kind of where we were rising on the number of births that we had in this country, and we're seeing that decline as well because women are focusing on their careers. I think that they're doing that to make sure that they're set up before they decide to settle down, and to just make sure that they have something. Because from what I see, and I'm just going off me, the men in my life specifically, and I think that also has a lot to play into it, they were not good examples. They abandoned the homes, and they would rather seek to fulfill their self and their own wants instead of taking care of their responsibilities, their children, and their household. My parents were married, and I come from a Caribbean background, so you know, I just want to, you know, like different cultures like matter and stuff like that. So my father was not faithful to my mom. You know, my mom was also not legal here, and she was at home taking care of majority of the kids. You know, it was a nice marriage until it wasn't. And you know, sometimes I don't know, like I'm kind of getting lost. I feel like I'm talking too much, but I feel like it has a lot to do with the examples that we have, to sum up, and I guess the past traumas of I guess, individuals and making sure that everybody is set up. I think a lot of us have seen people and how they look when they have kids young, or what getting married young looks like. I think women just want to make sure that they're set up in their careers and make sure that they don't need anything, and that when they enter their relationships, that they're not there because they need the man, but because they want to be there for the man and submit to the man.
Well,
That's just me.
here go the
But the
situation.
thing that
Hey,
separates them should be the thing that pushes them together. Like I said, the average cost of a home is about 400,000. So that's roughly about 2,300 a month in just the mortgage. In most relationship, it's gonna take two, but instead it's I can do this by myself because they don't want to share the platform. I don't think it's so much of bad men, it's because they want that self trophy. I did this. This is mine. This is mine. And there's no team.
yeah, I mean, I gotta agree somewhat with him when it comes to that. But because most men can, men in these days can actually fulfill a house. I mean, I understand the whole economic situation where it takes two to actually build up a household and all that stuff. But I still don't believe it, because I mean, I believe the jobs that's out there and the careers that's out there can actually fulfill anything, even take care of a whole family if you actually think about it. And also, all the morals of what women is actually talking about. He is actually absolutely correct. Y'all have this adrenaline rush, like, I did this, I did that, I didn't need no man to do this, I didn't need no man to do that, but yet men was the one who built the program that you're trying to achieve right as we speak right now.
I do agree with some points. I don't believe that it's all coming from a place of I did this. I feel like it's coming from a place of survival. Some people, yes, I will say that is true for some people. I do believe that it is coming from a place of survival as well, not wanting
What are you
to.
surviving? I mean, if your man can give you can provide all the security and everything, can give you
Oh,
a home.
baby, I'm sitting back, relaxing, baby. The dinner will be
I'm not talking
ready.
about you personally. I'm speaking in
Oh,
general.
in general,
In
it's
general,
the shifting of the culture and what's, I believe,
it
like,
shouldn't be. As we speak right now, the
mhm.
culture that's going on as we speak right now, women have inherently become extremely to the. It's not even normally selfish.
Yeah.
Y'all not worried about families or anything. Like, y'all not going to school to build a family or anything. Y'all going to school just to say y'all did something. I got my degree. I make six figures. I can buy my own shit. You see, I bought my own nails. I bought my own food. I bought this and that. I don't need you, motherfucker. I did everything by myself.
I don't think that's true for all women. Some, yes, and what we're seeing in mainstream with some, yes, but to generalize it under everybody or say all women, it's just some. But I do see what you're saying, yes, but you do have the women that do go to school and want to finish. I have my friends right now that just finished their sonography programs. They just graduated college. They're millennials, and she said, I want to wait just a little bit longer just to have a child. She said she'll wait 5 more years. And it honestly, I don't think it's true for everybody. I just think it's like
Absolutely
a
no cut.
mainstream thing.
Absolutely no cussing.
Hey guys,
Sorry, I
hey
do have
guys,
to work on that.
hey guys. You
I
need
just want to
to
make
go.
sure.
Hey guys, we need to go back a little bit. Angie said something and we missed it. We got to go back what she said. Everybody was quick to overmiss it. She said something very important.
What'd she say?
She said a shift before that, then she said something else. So that means nobody was paying attention.
I was. I mean, it was
So what
like,
did
No,
she
I don't
say?
think that.
She said something
No,
happened. You're not paying attention, and
no, I'm aware.
Kanai could understand what I'm saying. She's in the chat. She when I repeat, she said facts.
No, I understand. I
She said
clearly
it's coming.
understood what
She
she was
said
saying.
it's coming from somewhere, and nobody addressed it. You just overmissed it, and it passed. But I'm going to, we have to back up because what she said was very important. She said it's coming from somewhere.
Of course, it's coming from somewhere. It's
So
coming from a lot of places. But the angle that the angle
No, it's a
that people have
specific
chosen.
place that he's
No, no,
talking
no.
about
She
where he's
need Angie. You
taking
need to
from.
give Angie no disrespect to no one on the panel. You need to give Angie. I'm going to give Angie my time. Speak. I'm going to give her my time because she was onto something that she was right at the door and she said something and I'm like, wow, and everybody's overlooked it.
Okay, Angie, what did you?
For the sake of the stream and the audience, Angie, can you repeat what you said?
I believe I said that I believe that it's not true, like that all women want that, like to say that I did this, I did that. I feel like it depends, and there has been like a shift in culture as well. I'm Gen Z. I have a friend that's a millennial, and she just graduated. I have a bunch of friends that are millennials that just graduated, have their degrees, and they want to wait a little bit longer, men and women, just to make sure that they're settled in their careers before they settle down and have kids. And I don't think that all women are saying that they don't want to, but because of what's being pushed in the media, it can lead to women. Oh, I remember saying that women are coming from a place of survival.
Right, and you say it's for a reason. And I'm going to help her. You said family.
Yes, it's for
Okay,
survival.
okay, family. What happened to the family? Because you said let's keep this. We're going to speak. We're not biased. A little get into the blackness. Okay, what happened to the black family?
We're not the black
In
man.
the past,
Another thing. Who's raising all these men?
Black women.
And we want to know why man is like this.
Because the government done put half of most.
No. Leave the government out of it. Don't put the government
I
in
think
family business. Don't listen. That's the issue. We put.
I think it's a perception.
That's the
I think
actual
it's
truth.
perception of a
Majority of
reality. I think it's perception of a reality. I think they listen. You become a product of what you listen to, or a product of what you take in. You listen to all of these songs, Beyonce, Miss Independent, I Can Do This by Myself, and you become that. So I think it's a lot of stuff. It could be, cultural music. I don't think that there's TV showing or displaying single women. I haven't watched a show that displayed single women since the Gilmore Girls. So
What about
I don't think
girlfriends?
it's that.
You forgot girlfriend.
But that was a community.
That's not what he
that
was
was
saying, though.
So what?
That
Okay,
was
let me
a-
break it down. What happened in the last 20 years?
The last 20 years,
hip hop.
more women.
Besides that, no. Okay, the last 20 years, and this is fact, or this is true. No one can deny. The last 20 years, especially in the or 30 years, we have a lot of single black family. Women raised the kids by themselves, went to school, get college degree. A lot of these women that you want to speak facts that you see who have the degrees, they are single mothers.
Oh, so can I add something to that yard chat?
So let me land. So when you have that dynamic, and she said family, that is no family values there because you're not giving 2 point of view. So the kids getting 1 point of view
But the
because the
problem
father is
is
not
she
there because the man is not
because
there.
she
The-
chose because
No,
she
no.
chose that.
Yes, but what I'm
Because
saying,
she
the
could have had
dynamic.
that guy. She could have had that guy who had on that Chipotle uniform, been there and had a family dynamic. But since he works at Chipotle, he's not good for her, and
Before
she's not going to accept that because he has a job that's not pleasing to the eye. So therefore, it was her choice because she could have picked the Burger King guy. She could have picked the car wash guy. She
Okay,
didn't
but-
have to go into that situation by herself.
But what I'm saying,
So it's not.
I'm speaking before that, way before that happened. This is what happened. A lot of the men, listen what I'm saying. A lot of the men that are successful today or in this generation, when you check their background, they grew up in one single family household. In that era, the mother said, "Oh, go to college, get your degree. You don't need a man." It's all these things, the Beyonce, the music, all that can play a part in it. So now,
And also the mass incarceration.
yes. So when a woman had to take the lead and got very comfortable because the examples in the pudding, that young lady that was on the panel, exactly that's wrong with the black community, the black women. That's exactly the attitude she just play. They have triggers, and if things don't go their way, they get an attitude. So how quick the switch change. That's the problem because no one have family values. Family
Also,
value is the foundation. And when
also,
you can have all the money in the world, it's not going to replace the love of a family. Money
hey,
cannot
yard
replace
chat,
it.
yard chat.
Yes.
Also, here go the situation. Here go another thing. In these day and age, they don't have everybody within the family members involved. The aunties and the uncles and the grandpas and the grandpas are not involved in within the family dynamic, especially when it comes to the kids, because that was a major thing when it comes to that. Because grandparents are the ultimate. Besides your parent, your grandparents is the ultimate teacher, because you're gonna go to your grandparent because like, well, you taught my grandpa, you taught my mother this, so how did you go about that? So you learn from your grandparents, you learn from your uncles, you learn from your aunties. So we don't basically, it's the village dynamic. We don't even have villages anymore. We just have kids, and only the mother and father is raising the children. Or nope, let's take it in the black community. Only the mother is raising the child.
So,
Only
and when you look in other culture, what they have.
they have grandpa, grandma, aunties, aunties, cousins, and all that. Everybody has an influence when it comes. Everybody has
Okay.
it.
And when you come to the
The
black
village,
culture, what do you see?
Talking about
the
black
village,
culture.
the village is no longer. And
No,
I'll tell
no.
you why.
Explain exactly what you see. You see murdering, you see the raping, you see the destruction of the family. But black people will cater to everyone else. But when it comes to our community, we treat each other like garbage. We kill each other for looks. We do every wicked things. We do
But that's
everything
been
that
the case.
That's been
That's
a
been the
what?
case since the beginning of time.
No.
That hasn't
It
changed.
wasn't like that. And especially in our community, it wasn't like that. It's a learned behavior.
It's a survival
Like
behavior.
That's what I'm saying.
like
It's a
you
learned
said, it
behavior,
takes
and
a
it's not
village.
and it's not a family tradition behavior.
Well,
Like I
here go
said,
the
it takes a village. It takes a village to raise them.
Can I say
Now
something?
you can't. You can't. Yes, ma'am. Give me just a second. Like I said, it takes a village to raise them, and now we've gotten apart away from the village because don't you put your hand on my child? But I was just letting your child know that he can't say certain things. So therefore, the village has separated. Therefore, the black community has separated.
we don't
And
have
that's what
villages.
happened to the strong. And that what happened to the strong values because it was your grandmama who was correcting you. It was your aunties who was correcting you. And now that doesn't happen. You
It was
can't
your
touch
cousin.
nobody, kids. You can't.
It was your big cousin that was correcting you.
Right. It was a village, but that's no longer, and it has nothing to do with, it has nothing to do with the mass incarceration. It has nothing to do with. Yes, your
Can I
cousin
say
may be.
something?
Yes,
Sorry.
ma'am. Go ahead.
When you're
No,
finished, when
hey,
you're finished, just let me know.
Love was
I
next.
land.
Love was actually next.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, love.
I just wanted to say, I didn't grow up like that. I had both of my grandparents. I had my mom and my dad. I have my aunties and my uncles. So, and I use head real lightly because my grandmother is here, but she's not here. She has dementia.
It's okay. She's
My
still there.
grandfather,
She's there in
grandfather
spirit.
passed away. My mom passed away when I was 8, and my dad is in the nursing home. God bless his heart.
They still was there in
But
spirit. They
when
still.
I say I don't agree with the fact that y'all saying, oh, it's because y'all didn't have this and y'all didn't have that. I feel wholeheartedly whether you had an in and out father that was there but wasn't there, he was still there.
Yeah, we're
You
talking about
had
everybody
you
as a whole. Like,
no, but I'm talking about everybody as a whole. He was still there. So you can't say, oh, I didn't have this, I didn't have that. He probably wasn't in your face doing it, but he was doing it from a distance. If you needed something, you could probably pick up the phone. Your mama, whoever mama, not saying there's anybody on the panel, oh, don't talk to your daddy because I ain't doing this, I ain't doing that, I'm raising you by myself. That's a choice.
yeah, that's what these new parents are doing. That's why I
But
said that it
But
leads
that's
up.
why I said I wasn't raised like that. I didn't.
We
My
get
grandma
you.
didn't tell me to go upstairs and do my homework. She sat at the table with me and helped me with my homework.
I mean, we understand that part. That's where village comes into play. We understand that part. What we're saying is like, okay, village as a whole. Because I mean, yes, grandparents and mothers and fathers, they're going to actually help you with everything. They're going to sit down and literally teach you everything. My
I still got a village to this day though. Like my cousin will call me and
you're
curse
putting
me
yourself,
out
you're
if he
taking
see me
But
doing some
lovely,
random
you're
stuff
talking
on
about
social
yourself.
media.
You're talking about yourself. We understand you're like one of the rarities of the bunch, but we're talking about in general.
But
All
I'm
right,
just saying, in general, you can still have that. Y'all break connections with people because of family traumas.
I'm gonna
No,
cut
Not
in
saying
real.
that nobody on the panel.
No problem. I'm gonna cut in real quick. The Beyonder, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Before you get into the conversation with everybody else,
hmm
are women choosing careers over marriage? Go.
The short answer is yes. I do believe that women are choosing careers over marriage. Not all, but I would say it has skyrocketed over the past, I want to say like 15, maybe even 20 years. Um, and the reason why I think that is or the reason why I know that is because of the fact that, look at the dating marketplace nowadays. The dating marketplace is, I think, flipped upside down. I have grandparents and people who are, of the older generation, of course, and they have said that dating back then was a lot simpler, and an average woman would be ecstatic to be with an average guy, and that average guy could have a job that can pay for the house and all that stuff. And now you can't really do that as an average guy. Average guy, you have to work 2, 3 jobs just to, get a house or something like that. And I also think that social media has contributed to that because now you have average women, uh, you know, average looking women or whatever, not ugly, of course, but average, and she has the ability to raise her marketplace value just by being on the internet. Guys from all over the country of the United States or elsewhere can take her on a date, and she'll go that it'll she's malleable to believing that she can now obtain a higher status guy when that wasn't really the case back then. There wasn't any internet or social media back then. Everyone had to go outside to find a date or go to a bar or a club or something. That doesn't really exist anymore. A lot of women swipe left on about 80 to 90% of men on Tinder or Bumble. So a lot of guys, average guys, aren't getting the chance to even be married because they're not they're not having any success in the dating marketplace. The amount, according to there was a survey done in I want to say 2023, 2022, I think, when it was talking about the that virgin rates, the male virgin rate has doubled. So a lot of guys aren't even getting sex, let alone a date or the ability to marry a woman. And women are able to be independent and self-sufficient, and I applaud that. I have 4 sisters, but it's gotten to a point where they choose the career and then regret it later on, and then they have to settle for a guy they don't really want. That's my opinion.
That's a good point of view. The way I look at it too, man, I look at it like this. What career represent? Money. Your career represent money because eventually you're going to make money. So when you put money over, because marriage represent what? Family, togetherness. So when you choose money, you saying you don't want no marriage because the money going to satisfy you in every way. But like, years pass, now these women, 40, 45, 50, and they will come on internet and tell people, oh, I can't find this person because what they're giving out is not even real, what they're looking for. So when you put your standards so high, what man are you going to attract? You're not going to attract a man that want to marry you. The man just want to say, oh, she want my money, but I'm just going to use her as well. Repeating the same cycle I see over the period of years. I see, especially on the internet, TikTok models, Instagram models. This is what little girls are looking at and say they want to be like that. So they're choosing what? The bag. The bag. The bag. So when you choose a bag, you're saying you don't want nothing else because the bag is enough. The bag going to take care of you. So that's what women choosing the money, the bag, over family value. That's in my eyes. That's how I look at it.
I
And
I, Sorry to cut you off. Are
Yeah,
you
go
good?
ahead.
I was gonna say I don't. You know what's funny? I don't actually blame women at all for any of this. I do think that back then when men were in the house and they were kind of like the shield to oppression from anyone else. I feel like that was step one, was to remove the men from the household back in the I want to say 40s to 60s. 1940s, the black family unit was actually strong. I want to say 40%
Yeah,
of the households back then were father and mother, and then
family
and then
values,
under
family
Lyndon B.
values.
Johnson, yeah, and then under Lyndon B. Johnson in the 1960s, after JFK got killed, he implemented, the incentive for women to divorce the man for money, and that, definitely harmed the black community because we're only about like what 13% of the
Yeah,
population, and it
yeah.
affected all families all across the whole United States. What I will say though, I don't blame women. I do think that men enabled it. So I would say it was like a relay race. We started off reaching and then we ran with it. Men didn't really do anything to halt any of this stuff from happening. So I think it takes two to have an equation. I think that yes, women were they fell in love with what they fell in love with what they heard and they went with it because that's how a lot of women are, not all, but a lot of them are. But then men, we didn't do anything to stop it, and now we're living in what 2026, and we have all these problems now. So I don't blame women. I think it was a two-party equation, and that's kind of how I feel with
But
that.
why is it okay? We know marriages over the world, right? But and I read a lot of things like different countries, what's going on. But when you look at it, right, why is the Western lifestyle of marriage is the worst? It's the worst. You have one person said, "Oh, who been married for?" Look at Jennifer Lopez, married for all these men. And her, she said she was never loved. Wow. Wow. That's a strong statement. So
I
all
don't
them men that you've been with, you don't feel that she said she didn't feel their love. So why you with those men? Why?
I don't feel like she's never been loved because
But she said
everybody
it. She
that's
said it.
dated
She said
her
it. She said
always
it.
said that. I know she said it, but
Said
all the
it.
men that ever dated her really didn't have anything negative to say about her. It's maybe it's because she was making more than them. If money
No,
makes you feel loved, maybe you should be
nah,
alone.
you know what it is? I think it's a personal issue. I think I think when people are so brainwashing in their own hogwash and point the finger at other people, and she's not taking no type of accountability like everybody else, it was their fault, but you keep going back to the same well, you keep going back. So it's a reflection of you, something that you need to realize what you're doing. You're going down the same pattern and the same result. And that's the image that women are living. They have this list. Oh, I want a man making six figure. Oh, he get this. We got to go out to dinner. We got to do this, that. All worldly things, but nothing about family value and love.
We kind of have to acknowledge that two things can be true at once.
Yeah, it's
And
true.
I'll
Yeah,
give
I was about to go to that.
and I'll give an example as to what I'm
Hmm.
talking about, right? So
Yeah.
I have a white friend, right? And me and him are pretty cool. And he says that he has had a lot of bad experiences with black people. He doesn't hate black people, but when he's around certain areas or certain times, he gets kind of skeptical of them, right? I can't blame him for that because in the past he's been wrong. He's been done wrong by other black people. So when
Hmm.
it comes to women who have these ideologies as to being successful and choosing the career over marriage, it starts in the household. And I feel like that is a byproduct of not having the father there. So yes, the woman chooses who she has sex with, but also like it's a two. It takes two.
Hey,
So I feel like
Beyonda, you got to watch that word. You got to say intercourse because of TikTok. All right.
on my fault. Yeah, yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
You're right. My bad. Intercourse, right? So when the woman chooses the man she's going to sleep with, and that man turns out to be a degenerate or a deadbeat, that kind of starts a domino effect, and then the mother's going to have disdain for men, and then it'll bleed into the child, and then it continues. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily blame the woman for that. I think it's two things can be true at once.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
I
right.
agree. Can I
The
add on?
yeah. One second. The
Okay.
original princess just joined. Original Princess, are you there?
Yes.
All right. Before you get into the conversation with everybody else, the topic is: are women choosing careers over marriage? Go.
Um, I would say in the BLK community, women are choosing careers over marriage. I think specifically, they are choosing careers over marriage with a BLK man. I think they have started to see that usually marriages with a BLK man whose pockets are average at best, who may not look good and gonna give you ugly children, and it's probably gonna stress you out because he's unhealed. A lot of them are realizing that being on their own or being in their career or buying themselves nice things feels better. And I heard that come up a little bit. I don't think that's wrong. If you need to pursue what makes you happy, and I think men don't know how to process the fact that marriage is no longer the number one goal for women because it's not the thing that really makes them happy. And so, if materials make you happy and being by yourself and having a child-free life, a husband-free life, then you have the right to pursue that. And so, yes, I think more women are doing that. And, I think more should.
Can I respond to that?
Please do. But let Angie go because she
Yeah, of
was
course.
trying to.
Andrew, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
Angie was trying to
I
go
apologize.
first.
It's okay. It's okay. I do. If you don't mind, the original. Can you repeat your last line for me? I'm so sorry. I really do want to piggyback off of that.
I believe I said that I agree that more women are choosing careers over marriage or just things that make them happy over marriage. And I think more women should as well.
Yes, I do believe. Yes. I want to add on that I believe that women are going that route. And if we want to tie it to Black women, it's because when they were taking care of the household, the amount of stress and all of that, or having to do that all by themselves, and seeing that, I guess the culture shift isn't really changing amongst the Black love and the Black community. Like you see some improvement, but not to where, we're 100% certain that a Black man is going to treat us right. We watch them fetishize over women of other races and put them on a pedestal over us. And so I think that the career is like a failsafe. Like women are doing that for stability, but also I want to take a look as to why that is. Especially, I think it was Yard Chat. He pointed out that, capitalism has, the Western world is like that. The Western world, specifically, if we want to talk about America, we moved from a religious state to a capitalistic state. And so in capitalism, that's where social Darwinism comes into play, survival of the fittest. And so now everybody is kind of in a battle to kind of survive or just make it. And given our odds as Black women or as women, it's not always guaranteed. And when the family, God forbid, breaks up, a lot of the times the women are left with the responsibility. And I'm done.
Well,
Hey, real quick, Coney. I appreciate your comments in the comment section, but you're pointing out points and questions that would be very beneficial to the panel. So if you want to ask them to the panel, I mean, it would help the conversation. It would help the stream.
Sure. So I have been listening and I'm just jotting my reflection because I can't unmute when someone is talking. And by the time they're done, someone is pointing to another thing. But I try by all means not to attack a man's needs and not to attack a woman's needs so that when there's when there's a discussion, there can be respect. So I understand that most ladies are just looking for safety as a basic and security. And a man who doesn't see this and when they attack this, that's when you see ladies going off, oh, but I don't need, and they start like reacting to that. So it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough when also I hear my gentlemen here, who I highly respect, who are very cordial, when they don't hear that and they don't speak to their responsibility and accountability to like the father figure in a home. Like that's very important and vital. So when I listen to Lovely's story, she is who she is and she's managed to have what she has because she had a father who gave her that security, even in the mind and in her worldview and security. So when a man said, okay, I'm working on this, I'm doing this, she already has that trust in him, not a distrust for men. So she was able to be led in the marriage. And I could hear that when she said that. But if someone hasn't had this, be it a man or woman, all you know is to attack because you've only seen one side of the coin and you only see one side of the coin. And I try, especially coming from Africa, I also understand like there's a lot of incarceration that happens here, and there is women who are given checks and whatever to be alone in the home. So that's what they've known. That's what they've known. And if people are trying to change this, or the minority that actually have family units, you know, can see loopholes, but it's hard to tell someone who's being paid or being compensated to not have a man in the house. And all she thinks is, I just have to have kids from different men, or I just have to get a job and I won't be with different men. It's a different kind of ideology, and I wouldn't want to attack that. So when they talk about safety, and that's the ladies, safety and security, I think it's very important for a man who's interested, whether regardless of the job you have, not to undermine, because if she understands that you hear her, I think I don't know if I even believe what I'm going to say now. I think the ladies will be able to listen, but I don't know, because I've been around when the ladies are also all over the place and they can't really hear when a man is speaking. So it's challenging. That's why I kept quiet. I'm listening and not trying to go in a monologue, because I want to get a pulse on where people are at. And then I'm just jotting my thoughts out there. But it's hard to have a monologue because I might be all over the place. But it comes from insecurity, wanting to get that job and knowing I'll be secure. No matter what happens, even if I'm struggling, at least I won't be out in the streets.
Hey,
Um,
is your name pronounced Connie or Coney? I just want to make sure I'm saying it right.
Tony, but I don't mind. And by the way, even if someone mispronounces the name, I don't take it personal for me. It's not a big deal. I
I
just hear what the person is trying to say. So, Connie.
I'll call you. I'll say your name how it's supposed to be, Connie. I appreciate it. I just wanted that. I wanted to correct myself because I wanted to be sure. Because that last lady a while back, I mean, she got all she got in an uproar about her name, and I wasn't trying to be malicious, but I guess because of what she's used to, as we could see, you know, it's always a battle when a man and a woman is speaking, and I'm not trying to have that war with her. So, Connie, thank you, Connie. That was very good. Beyonda, you was trying to talk, and then I'm gonna get back to Original Princess. Go ahead, Beyonda.
Yeah, so I listened to Angie. Well, first of all, Angie's smart, and also Princess is smart. Connie is smart. Everyone here has been contributing, and I enjoy this conversation a lot. Angie, you're talking about survival of the fittest, and I feel like that whole premise was created by the powers that be. There really wasn't anything to survive. We were surviving. We were all doing fine until they, I feel like all of this, like the dynamic between men and women in the marketplace, it has been a political power move, right? To remove the men from the household and kind of like start all these problems that we're having today in 2026. And I feel like, we were doing fine, back in the day. I would even say in the 90s we were doing fine, But when they oversaturate you with lies, eventually you're going to believe those lies and you're going to act accordingly. So when women are talking about surviving and all that stuff, that was a lie created a long time ago, and now it's becoming the truth. And now we're having a hard time surviving because capitalism has its faults and its cons, and we're kind of suffering the back end of that, I guess. And I just think that a simple fix would, I feel like average people are the backbone of America. It isn't really the rich; it's the we're the backbone, So a simple fix would just have average people get married. When average people are happy, everything goes fine. There isn't. Yeah, that's a very simple fix, but the problem is that a lot of people think that you know, they're special and that they're more important than, you know, what they think they are. And so they're going to put their interests above what's for the greater good. You know, people are going to go on social media, TikTok, Instagram, and you know, when they get invited into that world of, you know, partying and the money, they think that they deserve a man of that caliber or whatever. And then also, men are also delusional. Men think that because they're men, that they deserve a woman. But in order to get someone, you have to be qualified for that. As for both parties, men have to step up. They have to work. They have to ignore how they feel. Go to the gym, and I'm guilty of this. You know, I'm a man of God, so I try, and I'm engaged myself. But what I'm saying is that we need to be modest. We need to look in the mirror before we go out there and, you know, think that we deserve the world when we haven't done anything to earn it.
I liked a lot of your points, the beyond. Trying to kind of bring it back to the topic a little bit. I think this is one of the reasons that plays into people choosing different avenues over marriage is because right now our community is such of a divide. Like a lot of people were talking about in the comments, that women are to blame. A lot of women think that men are to blame. We just as a community don't see eye to eye about anything right now. Everything is a clash. So it's going to be more miserable to be in a marriage with someone whose values don't align with yours. Someone who thinks you're not as worthy as you think you are, and looks at you as less because you're unrealistic or whatever. So I think that's a very good reason. And a lot of things you guys pulled up are very much facts. And I think that contributes greatly to why people are choosing different avenues over marriage. Because, you know, at the end of the day, marriage is going to be more of the stress.
So where did the division start? You mentioned it. You said there's a division. Where did it start?
Oh, you don't hear it all throughout the conversation?
Yeah, but I mean,
Most
from
of your
you.
points and most of the Beyond points are
Yeah, but what
about
I'm
women.
saying is to you
Beyond is
now.
kind of fair, but your points were definitely all about women. A lot of the comments are about one or the other, so it's all throughout the conversation.
What I'm saying is okay. Let's go back where Bian said, right? Am I pronouncing your name right? Bian? B-E, I can't see all of it.
It's the Beyonder, but you're
Yeah,
good.
okay. You said you're what? You're a man of God, right? That's what you said?
Sir.
Okay, you're a man of God. I'm going to make a point. You brought up a man of God, and she said, let's turn it and go another way. Go back. But it's still the same point. You're both right. Hear this now. She said there's a division, and you said there's a man of God. Hear this now. People goes, oh, you're a church. No. Hear this. There's always going to be a division outside of God when it comes down to marriage. The division started, we know when. Mr. B, and you're a man of God, you know the Bible. When did that start? But it's when you come back in the fellowship and submit to God. You're not submitting to the man. You're not submitting to men. You're submitting to God. And when you submit to God, God is in the mix of the marriage. You're going to have your bad time, your good time. But guess what? You're going to remember the purpose and the reason why you're married.
I
Okay.
agree. I do
I
think
feel you on that, but
it's a
40,
covenant. It's a
40,
covenant.
okay, 42% of divorces are through the church and
Why?
religious
Because
people.
they don't understand marriage.
So your claim that we are divided because we're not taking marriage before God, that's where the most divorces are happening. So that's completely contradictory.
And you hear what I said? I said because they don't know the
Honestly, I
concept
don't
of
know
marriage.
why you brought up God to try to prove a point
Because
in
it
the
is to
first
prove a
place.
point. Okay.
It's really okay, let me land.
Go
It's
ahead.
actually comical to me, and I'm just gonna say this statement, and I'm not gonna talk further on that because it's gonna ruffle a lot of people's feathers. But to me, it's always comical when a black man mentions God or Jesus or the white man's religion, but also feels like all the systems in place by the white man is the reason he can't succeed. So you dislike every system that the YT man created except your religion. So
What are
it
you
just sounds
talking about?
contradictory.
What are you talking
It's
about?
contradictory.
What are you
I
talking
can
about?
hold on. I can
Who wrote
I
your
can
What are
break
Bible?
you
down.
talking
Who
about?
who wrote your
No
Bible?
cursing, no cursing.
Who wrote your Bible? I knew they was gonna get upset. I knew that
Do
white
you
I'm not
know?
Jesus,
upset.
Wait,
white
hold on,
Jesus,
hold
they
on.
gotta
Let me
defend
land,
white
please. Excuse
Jesus.
me, excuse me. Wait a minute, please. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Do you know this is a God-basing platform that you're on?
Oh, actually, no, I didn't know. It should probably say that somewhere
So
so
listen, I'm not
people
going to deny
can
my
know
faith in
before
God.
that.
I'm
I
not.
did not know that at all.
This is not a beat up session of
I wouldn't
women.
have came up if I knew it was a
So that
religious
means you
based
see. Let me tell you
live.
something. Let me tell you something. And I'm
Host,
not speaking.
is this a religious based live? A Christian based live?
Your chat is the host as well. We co-hosting. Yes, I am faith based, but I wanted to actually address your point when you said white man's religion. So my question to you is, do you think Jesus is white because that's what it says in the Bible, or you think Jesus is white because you saw those pictures drawn by Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo?
I believe if there is a Jesus, he would definitely have been black. But I also observe that the YT man religion that you worship depicts Jesus, despite the evidence, as a white man with blue eyes. Your white man religion depicts God against evidence as a white man with blue eyes. And you guys sit on the panels and defend the white man's religion that's playing
Excuse
in your
me.
face.
Excuse me. You see, you see, we was fine. You see, this is the problem. See, and this is the problem in our community, and that's the division right there. You see, let me tell you something. I'm not going to back down from no one. Mr. Fifth have a different faith belief, how he believe, but I believe what I believe. But we're on the same page when it comes down to faith belief in the word of God.
Right.
Okay, I keep
And so
it like that.
you gotta push yours onto me
No,
because
no,
I
no.
don't
I'm not
agree,
pushing nothing.
which Christians
I
do.
never did. I never did push nothing on you. But what I'm saying is this. I am not coming to you trying to put you down or trying to make you feel like you're less than. We having a dialogue here. We're reasoning. But I'm not saying for you to believe in my God or what. This is not about pushing religion. I don't push religion. But what I'm saying is, all of these conversations that we're having right now, the division is all written. You could say white man, black man, this. I don't care about who you think God and Jesus look like. It's not about look and color to me. I don't care about none of that. But what I'm saying is you're not going to come on here and disrespect. I'm not going to stand for it. I will take a stand. You're not going to sit here and come on here and talk about just Jesus, da, 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 da. Have respect.
Have respect for what?
Until religion came to this, your attitude changed. Why?
Have respect for white
Why?
Jesus.
Why? It's not about white Jesus. Why your attitude changed when you ran away from when Mr. Bien ran? You said let's move away from that quickly. Why you dodging? You
Well,
don't believe in God? Do you believe in God?
I
Do you
didn't
believe in
wanna
God?
bring up religion too much because I knew you guys were gonna get upset if you remember exactly what
Nobody's
I said.
upset. You make the
Okay,
comment
you
that you
asked me a
made.
question. You
It's
asked
the
me a
comment you
question.
made. It's the comment you made.
Right. That I was trying not to go
Right.
down the
And
religious road.
you think that was respectful to say that?
I don't think it's disrespectful.
Yes, it's disrespectful because you're
To
gonna hurt
what?
others. The words what you say would affect other people as well. You don't think so?
What did I say that was offensive?
I'm not gonna repeat what you know what you said.
No, I don't. Nothing
Okay.
I said was offensive.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna say nothing else to you.
I have a response to that, and I don't I don't have a problem with what she said. Everyone has their personal experiences, you know. I know that Christ is the truth, you know, so I'm not going to, you know, defend him. He doesn't need to be defended because he already won the battle. I will say that you are wrong about the religion, because a religion is based off of what people do, right? Christianity is what Christ did. It's a different thing. It isn't the same thing. So Christ says, you know, he sacrificed himself on the cross for us. We don't do anything. We can't get into heaven because of what we do. Religion says that. So religion and Christianity is two different things. Okay. I only brought up God originally because a lot of people back in the day, you know, had a centered relationship with God in the center. And then when they took religion out of school, it was in school back in the day. It took it out of school, then they were able to implement a lot of propaganda and agendas in people's houses, and that's when everything kind of like, you know, divide and conquered.
As they should take religion out of schools. Why are you forcing your religion? Mind you, there are plenty of other religions that people follow.
Well, did you
Why are
know
we
that our
forcing, excuse me, why are we forcing your religion onto everybody's children? That is
well,
propaganda. That is a prime example of propaganda. So your propaganda is allowed, but you're against any other propaganda that they teach in schools.
right,
So
but
But
do
why
we
is it your
but
religion?
we're forced to listen to your guys' propaganda. Put it that way.
no,
You're
but do
not
you
forced.
know?
You can leave the panel. Who's forcing you?
No, but you said no one is forcing no one to do nothing. You and don't be disrespect somebody forced to leave the panel. You could leave my panel.
Hey yo.
Come on, man. People have
That
to have respect, bro.
that was disrespectful. This is what I'm gonna do as the host right now, because I didn't appreciate that right there. I'm gonna make a very simple correction because Yahweh Shah Mashiach is not white. And so I'm going to read Revelation 1:14 through 15 for edification purposes, because I don't play. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they were burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Does that sound like a white man to you?
No.
Oh,
Not a white man, but also we
thank
have to
you.
look at history as well, because in school, if we pay attention, they go over the origins of how these religions started, where they originated, and anybody who paid attention in school would have been able to tell you that Jesus was not a white man, or that
Facts.
I do like, and with what she said, it's not that the religion is bad itself. I do believe that some people, and I'm not saying it as a whole, but some people did use Christianity as a way to manipulate people. Was that right? No.
Exactly.
But it was
Fact.
a
Yeah,
different way
true.
she could have said it.
Right. And that's what she should have said, but she got up here and she started saying we worshiping and you know the
It got a little too emotional.
she got triggered. Anyway, yo Wavy, real quick. What's up, Wavy? Wavy.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, Wavy. Hey, can you answer the question and then you can get into the topic with everybody? Are women choosing careers over marriage?
All right, cool, man. What's going on to everybody, man? Hope y'all having a blessed day. Y'all staying warm out there, man. It is cold, man. So as far as are women choosing careers over marriage? Yes, they're choosing careers over marriage. The reason why they're choosing careers is because the career that they choose is going to be more validated, more validating and more that means the most to them, right? It would be something where they could make their money and, you know, pretty much do what they want to do, right? And excuse me, when it comes to doing what you want to do, especially when you talk about the things that are happening in the community right now, the fact that a lot of women are not seeing what's going on, right, and choosing to point fingers and say, well, we are at war right now in the black community, this and the third. It's not that we are at war. Y'all are at war with yourselves, right? Because the very said thing, right, that men want is the total opposite of what you guys want. You guys want careers. You guys want to make more money. You guys want to be independent, like you guys say all over the internet, right? But yet you don't want to be you don't want to be in a situation where you're codependent, right? Or you're in a situation where you want someone to be there to take care of the necessary things, right? You want to do this thing called life on your own. And when you try to do this thing called life on your own, especially as a woman, you're literally going to be fighting yourself the entire time, right? Because again, God designed woman and man to to work together to accomplish certain things. It's no such thing as doing it on your own, right? And a lot of them, they choose the careers because they understand, well, if I choose my career and then I could make more money and I could do X, Y, and Z, then I wouldn't have to be held accountable to anyone. You wouldn't have to hold my feet to the fire because in my mind, I'm going to do what I want to do. I make more money and ain't issue could tell me because I'm a grown ass woman. And that's where the issue comes in. There's nothing wrong with choosing the career, right? But you have to understand, when you give your life to God and when you make a covenant between husband and wife and marriage and all of these things, you have to choose one. You have to choose one. You cannot choose both. You cannot say, well, I'm going to choose my career and also my house, my husband on both, in both talking points. It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. So yes, they do. A lot of the modern day women, yes, they do choose careers because it's the easiest thing for them to do and not be held accountable for their actions when it comes to men and all these things. And when it comes to marriage and taking responsibilities for their actions. And I'll land.
Exactly.
I agree with that. I just think that men gave them the alley-oop to do that to a degree because we didn't really do anything to stop that from happening. Like the movement of careers over marriage, you know? Kind of like this watched it go by, and then now we're suffering for it.
And it's fascinating, right? How we have people in the comments saying, "Oh well, men want women to need them so bad." No, we don't care if you want us or you need us. We really don't care. But just don't go on the internet and make a whole stink about what men isn't or what they're doing or what they aren't doing, right? Don't go in there and say, "Well, all men is X, Y, and Z," when you clearly don't want the man that you're talking about. So if it doesn't apply to you and you don't want the men that are out here actually doing the right things in the community, raising kids, having less kids than half the majority of women, because you guys are having more kids than men, which means you're having more SMECs, you're using ABs as the new form of Plan Bs and birth controls and all of these things. Don't blame us for it, right? If you feel like that's not what you want, then that's on you. Then you don't have to want, because the thing is, what women fail to understand is men are going to build the world with or without you. That's the reality of it. Men don't need you to survive. We need you to procreate, however, right? But we do not need you to survive. Women need men to survive. You get it? Women need men to survive.
That's correct.
I agree to a certain extent. I want to go back to where the yard man say, yard chat, where he said that, where did the divide happen? When people stopped centering, I would say when people stopped centering God in their relationships and including prayer, into the relationship or centering God, that is also another reason that causes the divide between men and women, because they don't have that power of faith that's holding them together and allowing them to get through whatever the earth or the world has to throw at them as a unit. But also, I want to talk about something that somebody in the chat said. I think both. It's not just a all woman thing. It's not just an all man thing. I think both parties definitely do have a role to play in it. I think that there are a lot of boys out here. It's a difference between a boy and a man. A man is going to provide and do all of that. And I will say, as a woman in the Northeast, where, women up here prioritize their career. They don't really give a damn about men. I will say that as a West Indian woman that was raised in the Northeast in NYC, that is not really the way that I think. I would love to submit and be able to trust a man and that they're going to be there. But I did see that someone said that having a man nowadays is not a flex. I think that a lot of the times we're dating boys, and those men, I want to tie it into individuality, because, everybody is different. You end up with this person, they're not mature in some ways, and then that kind of flips things. So I do think that having a boy is not a flex, but having a man, and a man that keeps his word, a man of his word, is the most important thing. And that's where I'm arrested.
I have a response to that. So I agree with what you just said.
Hey,
But
my
what
bad,
do
Beyonder. Charles just joined. I gotta let him get in the question. Okay, yo, Charles, where you at?
Hey, I'm right here. I'm right here.
Hey, before you join everybody, and then I'm gonna get back to the Beyonder. Are women choosing careers over marriage? Go.
Yeah, I think women are choosing careers over marriage. You know, when Congress passed in 1963, that women were able to make as much as a man makes. All right. So they didn't need a man. They get educated, whatever, make your money. So men have been getting pushed out slowly since. And so, in other Eastern countries, the women aren't doing that. And you see how their society goes. So I'm gonna land my plane and just say this. Since women have been slowly taking care of themselves and pushing men out, look at what happened to America. It went to crap. All went to crap. And I'm gonna leave it like that.
I agree. And I don't want people to get the idea that beating up on women is nothing like that. When you speak facts, some people don't like it, and a lot of the females that came on this panel, that talk sounds so good. It talks so good, but when it go and get tough, they get triggers and they act because they have issues. We all have issues, and we all got to come to reality that we all have issues in this world. We all contribute to how the world is right now. We all played a part in it. But my problem that I have with people is this. People will say what they want and that's their opinion. It's not a fact. How you feel, but like the brother said earlier, a lot of people are wearing their feelings on their sleeve. I feel like this, I feel like that. And when you question them and push them, you know that there's some issue behind it, there's some trauma that's bothering them, and they take out the trauma on the whole world. Just like those two ladies came here, they taking out their trauma on men. Because she's very, very combative. You could heard it. A name trigger her. A name. Mr. Fifth apologized. See, that's the attitude that us men have to deal with. And women got to deal with the attitude. Men have the same attitudes too. I'm not saying that I'm exempt from this. It's an all-together thing. But the problem is this. When you stray away from the concept of family and start saying it's a problem.
It's a problem. See, men, we go for family. The women go for themselves.
Right.
And that's the
When
problem.
women see, where I look at it, when women see something better, they will be tempted, brother. Married or not, they are tempted. But that's in. And there's nothing no one could say that. It's fact, it's fact, it's biblical.
No,
There's nothing no one could do about it.
that's a fact. No, that's a
It's
fact.
Eve the one, she knew the rules, she knew everything, and that part came with the curse. And you fail not to understand that, women acting like that. Because the word of God say, I don't care what anybody says, it's going back to the word of God, because the word of God is reality and life.
Facts.
So you got an issue because I'm standing for the word. You see, let me tell you how the enemy works. And the enemy lied to these women over the years and years and tell them, you don't need no man, you don't need no father, you don't need this. You raise these men, sissy men. A woman could never teach a man how to be a man. It's impossible.
Facts.
So don't come on here when I drop facts that either you accept it or not. But I refuse to back down to anyone that say what I'm saying is not a fact. It's a fact because the devil want to use what they want to use and give what they want to give, but don't give them the whole package. They're lacking.
Right. So I'm gonna say this really quick, right? Because there's a large group of women, right, in America right now that's suffering from depression and all different types of things, right? Yeah. And one of the reasons why they're suffering from these depressions is because they don't have the ability to pair bond with a male. They're
lacking that. That's what they're lacking.
They lacking the emotional attachment that I want to be a boss, that I don't need a man, the man ain't this and the man ain't that. Y'all are suffering because, again, God didn't make you as a woman, right, to deal with life for what life is. That's why he made men separate and he made women separate, right? Because again, men, we are designed to deal with the things that you are not allowed to deal with, or God didn't design you to deal with. God have equipped us with the ability to deal and take the stress and everything off of your shoulders and your back. That's why he designed us the way he did. He didn't say, okay, well, I'm going to design a woman and I'm going to make it equal to you so she could go through the same thing that you go through as a man on a day-to-day basis. No, he didn't do that. He said, okay, I'm going to make the man, the masculine, the one to do and take all of the load and all of these things. And I'm going to make you out of, from your rib, the man, I'm going to make you a woman, the spouse or the woman, the carrier of life, out of the image, so you could have someone to mate and pair bond with. So you could take the stress off of her back and her shoulders, right? The problem with this today is a lot of women are de-emasculated men, right? They don't want men to be men, right? And when they do run into that man, they don't know how to keep him because your ass now has to be accountable for your shit. You don't want to be accountable for your
Language,
shit.
brother.
Language, wavy.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You don't want to be accountable for your crap. So when you don't want to be accountable for your crap, when you think everything that happens is because of the man, it's because you as a woman has yet to sit in the mirror and look and say, you know what? I need to work on some things that I need to figure out. Or I have to work on X, Y, and Z so I can attract the type of men that I want to attract. You don't always need a man that's making $600,000 or $100,000 a year. That's a very small portion of us.
Yep.
That's a very small portion of us. You want a man that's six. You want a man that's 6'4", 6'5". Well, the average man in America is 5'8". So again,
And the average height for a woman is 5'3".
it's
And hear
5'3",
this now.
correct? So
And
when
hear
you
this
talk
now.
about these things,
Yeah.
and you gotta be realistic, and you gotta live in reality. You gotta stop living in delusional. I'm 6'1". And by your standards, I'm above average. I'm 6'1". I make over $90,000 a year. By your standards, I'm above average, right? But you wouldn't get that caliber, man, because you're not even making $18,000, $20,000 a year. You're not doing it. You're not feminine. You don't carry yourself as a woman. You carry yourself as a thug. You want men to this that, and third, this be at nigga, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't curse on here, but you want to talk a certain type of way, carry yourself a certain, and then you want to attract the man that's making over $100,000. How?
Not gonna
How? And I land.
happen.
Charles, you can go ahead and talk. My bad.
So I think a woman can get anything out of a man, anything, long as she's in her feminine energy. That's what we react to. You know, we just gonna give it to her.
You see, a woman have very extraordinary powers.
Mm-hmm.
When the Bible, when the Word of God speak about a woman, talking about her curves, her looks, her smell, her skin. Let me tell you something. When you see a nice, fine woman, and you see her, you look, you say, man, she look good. She's distract you from your main purpose. All she had to do is bat her eyes, wiggle her behind, and she got you. But she can use her body to wine and dine you. As they said, this is dazzle you. Pull a fast one, boom, before you know it. Boom. That's the gift of a woman.
Yeah, because her softness breaks us down.
But you cannot be in the leadership of a man. That's the problem. And I'm being real. A lot of American women in this country, all colors, once they come here, they adapt that Western. I'm not saying, listen, every other ethnic background, I'm not saying they're perfect, but they respect marriage. But why must black women, and that's the issue that I have, our black women display themselves on all platforms. They're coming online, they want a husband, they dress half naked, they're cooking, they're twerking, they're half naked. Where is the morality of the women today? You want to know why? Because they have to choose the bag to upkeep their lifestyle. And when they reach 40, 50 years old, it's the God and it's true. They're by themselves. Then they call themselves cougars.
A lonely cougar.
because they're not going to get no older man. They're getting younger men that they most likely they got to pay that bag.
The bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, to keep to all of these people do it. People, am I lying? Madonna does it. A 27-year-old man from Jamaica dating Madonna. Madonna's like 63, 65 years old. What do you think he's there for? What he's there for, people? Keep it real. What he's there for?
Money.
Clapping or clapping cheeks.
Yeah. See, and when we speak reality, listen, I keep it real as 100%. I'm not perfect, but I keep it real. You don't like my platform, you don't have to subscribe. You don't have to come on none of my platform. But guess what? My people know my voice. And they will be there. And they've been there. Because they like what I speak, the real truth. I don't bias against men. I don't bias against women. Men have their fault too. Don't think man is innocent. Be guilty too. We're more guilty
We
than a
are.
woman.
That's a fact.
We're more guilty than a woman.
Yeah, I
But we
wanted to
sit back
respond to
and
that.
watch
Yeah.
our women display their body. That's supposed to be a secret before your mate in a bed setting. Not the whole world to see your woman goods. Look at Kanye West and Bianca. Look at that, man. She's out in public. That's what my daughter want to grow up and dress like that and show a whole crack to the world. And you're going to say you're okay with that? What woman in their right mind going to stoop to that level to show their body to the whole world? That means you don't have no concept, no morals. Then you have another one, take a picture with a man in his bed, say, oh, he owed me $15,000. And you post it online. That's good. We speak my offset. Keeping it real. We give people names, it's done. It's real. It's fact. Everybody saw it online. I'm not talking no defamation character. It happened. And
But
she I'm going to land. She probably went on and said she did all other stuff too. That's woman. That's a woman. That's a woman that everyone look up to, say, that's a woman? That's a married material?
But you know what's the sad part about the whole situation? Is those are the very set women that will be online and say, oh, well, the man, right? When men is marrying you at a very high rate, right? When we trying to do things different in the community, and because you, somewhere along the line, you aren't happy anymore and all of these things, you divorce. And what people fail to understand is marriage isn't about happiness. That's what a lot of people go into marriage with the mindset of, oh, I'm supposed to be happy every single day. No, you're not going to be happy every single day. You're going to come through hard times. The enemy is going to be sticking his little 2 cents in your ear and all of these things. When you're married, right, he's going to tell you these things. Oh, you don't listen to him. And then you're going to want to be defiant on all these things. That's just how it works. That's how it works. So a lot of people are getting divorced because they're not happy. What are you talking about happiness? You think men wake up every day and happy that we got to go out there and conquer the world? No, we're not happy about it, but we got to go do it. We got to provide and protect for you. We got to go take care of you. This is what I'm saying. My wife is very grateful. She's very grateful, right? Because she understands what I deal with, how I go through it, and I'm still coming home to her at the end of the night. You get what I'm saying? Because she understands that it's not easy out there for a man. And she's Afro-Latino, right? So again, when you talk about these things, if every other race of women can see it but the black community race, there's something mentally wrong with you guys. There's something mentally wrong.
Can I chime in really quickly? I want to, because we spoke about music, I want to read a short excerpt from Beyonce's Upgrade You lyrics with her and Jay-Z, because I think this is very important, and I think that this will kind of shed light on my point. So, how you gonna upgrade me? This is Jay-Z. What's better than number one? You know I used to beat that block, but now I bees the block. Beyonce says, partner, let me upgrade you. She goes on to say, I hear you be the block, but I'm the lights that keep the streets on. Notice you the type that like to keep him on a leash, though. I'm known to walk alone, but I'm alone for a reason. Sending me a drink ain't appeasing, believe me. Come harder, this won't be easy. Don't doubt yourself, trust me, you need me. This ain't a shoulder with a chip or an ego. But what you think they all mad at me for? So, with that being said, Now, I want to tie it into where she says, I hear you be the block, but I'm the lights that keep the streets on. Men should be leading the households. But then I think a lot of the times in this society, men don't really look at their woman and the value that the women bring to the table. And I think that is also a disconnect, and why women are also choosing it. You know, it's not that men want us to need them so badly and women don't need men. I don't think that we are seeing eye to eye on the importance of having each other around for real, or staying with each other. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna rest. Sorry.
What are women supposed to bring to the table?
I believe a man is supposed to provide, you know, and it's gonna be for my generation. You know, I'm young, I'm 22. You know, I still have a whole life ahead of me.
Yeah.
But I don't see a promise right now of a person in my age range that is capable of that. I believe it's possible, you know, when you find the right people, and you know, the only thing I can do is trust God. But
She's still there?
can you hear me?
Are you still there? Yeah, you're here. I hear you.
Okay, sorry. Can you repeat the last thing that you said one more time for me?
I said to you, oh God, let me make my thought.
Sorry.
Women,
What is the purpose of a woman? He said, what is the purpose of a woman?
Yes,
Yeah, what is
yes.
the purpose of the woman in marriage? Yeah. Well, brought to the
Men
table. Brought to the table. What are you
provide,
bring to the table?
right? Like she said, you're the block. So men are gonna provide, but I'm gonna
Ma'am, he's asking what is the purpose of the woman, not the
add
man.
light to your life, right? Whatever you bring to me, I'm gonna turn it into something better. You understand? So I feel like men, a lot of the time, they don't value their women. And I'm not saying this is all men, you know? But in mainstream culture, we don't really see that, or we don't really see men really looking at the actual value of a woman. A lot of the times they're objectified as well, and that leads to another disconnect.
You know what I think where the disconnect is? I think, you know, over the years, I think the disconnect is people look at the outer first. And it's natural too. That's just not, but what it is, a lot of people now, this generation, they're looking at the outer instead of looking at the person's heart, the sincerity. Everything just go too quick because they've been, I guess, but with all the materialist things, going out to the fine restaurant, you know, the lifestyle, and say, oh, this is it, and not really looking at the person's heart. You have to, you know, and the only way you look at it, you to know a person. That's why it's very important for your guys to date, not just go on an expensive date, go on intimate date, look eye to eye, look in that person, because guess what? Whatever's in that heart, the eye is going to see it. Where they say the eye is the window to your soul. So, that's where a lot of people now, they just going on emotion, things what people could get, and not looking at the significant behind wanting love. I am telling you guys.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, let me say this. What love does, love, I'm going to land in 1 second. Love make you fulfill all the things on that list together, because it's the love going to hold you together. So if love is not there, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care whatever fancy, it's not going to last, because it's not
genuine
love.
So I'm gonna say this really quick, right? So the thing is, and what a lot of people don't like, I met my wife in 2015, right? Okay. And we've been married for 10 years. We've been together forever, right? For the last 10 years, right? And what I realized, right, is that a lot of these women in today, like my wife, like when I got together, like I didn't have anything. Like I'm not even gonna sit here and make it seem like I was Mr. Perfect. Like I was young. I was still working on myself and trying to get certain things, you know, without the presence of a mother and a father in my life. I was trying to figure life out, right? And when she came around, it was like, yo, I don't care what you got. I don't care if you working on. I'm here to be a part of your journey and part of your life. Wow. And this is one of the reasons why we're still together, right? And to this day, and we make great money and we live comfortable, right? Why am I saying this? Because recently I have a brother-in-law that turned 24 today, right? And he just did 4 years of college for computer science upstate New York. I'm from East New York, Brooklyn, right? He just did 4 years for computer science upstate. The other day I had a conversation with him, right? One of his words to me was, "Yo, bro, I'm scared to date." I said, "Well, why are you scared to date?" He said, "Because the amount of delusion that I'm seeing in today's woman, and the fact that a lot of them don't even have half of the things that they're looking for from men, it's very scary." Mind you, he's 24 years today. He has a degree, a college degree for computer science, but he is scared to go out there and date women because a lot of the expectation that these women have today is not reality, it's delusion. You're looking for something that you yourself didn't obtain your entire life. You're looking for someone to come and captain save a whole, but yet you're not pure in body, mind, spirit, and soul. You're not. But you want the man that's 6 foot something, that's making 100,000 X, Y, and Z, that this, that, and the third, that could provide and protect. But when you ask a woman, what are you supposed to do as a woman? I'm supposed to just sit there and be a woman? Oh, I'm just supposed to exist. Okay, so you are a adult human being and you just exist. Okay, cool. Okay, that's cool.
You know, it's rough, man. We live in a rough world. We live in a rough world. You know, what I mean, well, it's not easy for the women out there. You know, it's not. You know, what I mean, women have to make some. You know, it's hard, man. Listen, the world is very attractive, man. The world is very attractive out there, and you know, what I mean, the year 2026, man, and it's not going to get any better. I just think people just have to look in the mirror and make better choices, man. You got to make better choices, you know. But
Agreed.
you know, the way the world is going, is it going to get better? You think?
It's
Is
possible. If you take a look at my generation, you could see
yeah.
that millennials kind of moved away from the Gen X was all about, like, they're more religious based. Millennials kind of drifted away from that. And if you look, a study just came out recently that said that Gen Z are actually, there was a 12% rise in them seeking religion or turning to religion now. So we see people of the younger generations, there is a possibility that, things can change because we are moving more towards religion and I guess having some sort of discipline. So I think so. It's a possibility, but again, it all comes down to the individuals themselves.
Okay, let me. I mean, you probably know this, but let me give you some insight. Do you agree we live in the last days?
I agree. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you read Do you read the Bible?
Yes, I do.
So why would you, knowing the knowledge of the Bible, say it's going to get better? It's going to get worse. It's not going to get
Because I
better.
believe in God.
It's gonna get worse. It's already
Even if
spiraling
you
down
believe in
that
God
way.
or not, even if you believe in God, you hear what I'm saying? Do you believe in the Word of God? I didn't say about. That's what the Word of God said. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse.
I believe it's Revelations, right?
Revelation, Book of Daniel. That's why
Yes.
it's all of these 12 minor prophets, Book of Joel, all these Hosea, Joel, all these, Habakkuk, Daniel, Ezekiel, all these Revelation, all of this, according to, and even in Matthew 24, it's not going to get better. So
Good
what
point.
are we seeking after? What's in the world? It's not going to get better. You know what your generation is called? Vipers. I'm here to give you information about the Word of God, not about me. I'm telling you, God called His generations vipers. Do you know the depth of what a viper does to people?
Poison them, bring them down.
Okay, there is no room for mistake. There is no. Let me come back to my no. A generation from viper. You know what I mean? They're going to kill each other. They're going to set each other up. They're going to do all type of negative things, murder, raping, all of that. This generation. So how can we say, coming from a biblical point of view, make America great again? In what way?
America is not going to get great again
when
until
you have people that put rules and politics into play to allow certain things, and you want to say we're going to make America great again, and we going against God's concept of marriage, we going against God's concept of just union and
Righteousness.
righteousness, and you want to say that we're going to make this country great again. What are women really looking at?
But they actually came up
And
with a
men,
study.
what are we looking at? What are we looking at?
They came up with a study in 2030. A lot of women, right, are going to be single, and they trying to invest more into wine, like wine stores and all of these things, and pets. The reason why is because they predicted in the next couple of years, 4 years from now, right, there's going to be a large group of single women, not men. Because again, men, we could go anywhere and we could be comfortable where we at. Because we're very simple creatures. We're not as difficult as you guys think we are. Right? We could be whatever. We could be passport bros, whatever you want to call us. Right? We could be any of these things. But for women specifically, in the next 4 years from now, they're predicting that you guys are really going to be at the lowest of the lowest, and you guys are going to be running to married men to protect you. You're going to be running to men that are already established to protect you, and all of these things, and it's going to be late. You know why? Because you can't seem to take your heads out of your behinds and follow the leadership and the role of authority, which is the man, which is structure. You can't seem to figure it out yet, but men, we can. We could go to McDonald's and find somebody working at McDonald's and turn them into a millionaire. We could go out there and we could, if we don't have it, we could figure out how to make something out of nothing. We could figure these things out. So we're really not doing as bad as you think. That's why we have over 800,000 millionaire black men in America right now. You don't got to listen to me. You don't got to listen. You don't got to listen to me. We have over 800,000 rich black men in America right now. Look it up. We're not doing as bad as y'all think we're doing.
But you guys are more, once you guys tend to get rich, we also have to point out to you guys, do not marry black women.
That's not true.
I'm not saying that's true for everybody.
That is not true.
But if you take a
The statistics shows that we do.
Let's be
Ma'am, the statistics shows that we do.
I knew sooner or
The
later.
statistics shows that we do.
Guys,
One more time, guys.
let's be
One more time.
respectful, please.
One mic.
I wasn't done talking, but go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
I'm sorry. I
No,
apologize
so-
for cutting you off.
No, it's fine. It's cool. But what I'm saying is yes, we are marrying you guys at a very high rate. You guys, however, divorcing us as well as at a very high rate. So yes, we are marrying you guys, right? Is that again, sometimes you may not like the process, right? You may think that the process is taking too long. You might fall out of love, or you might get bored, or whatever the case may be, and you divorce and you take half of the stuff that the man has been working for his whole life and you go with it. So it's not that we're not marrying you guys. It's the fact that you guys don't trust the process, because when the oppressors was oppressing us back then, when slavery and all these things, and it was literally emasculating us in front of the black woman, you guys lost all respect for us, and it shows in today's society. The fact that you cannot respect the black man, and because every time he does something, he's a B-ad and all of this, that, and the third, is why we have the issues that we're having now.
Can I
Because
say
you guys don't respect us.
Can I say what Malcolm X pointed out? I believe it was Malcolm X, and I could be wrong, but black women are the most over-policed and underprotected here in America. And I do want to point out the bear situation. So I don't know if you guys remember when society kind of was asked the question, or the mainstream was asked the question of, or they asked women, would you rather be in the forest alone with a man or a bear?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I think that it is important that we also listen to where the woman is coming from. Yes, we hear you guys. We hear what you're saying. We hear what the disconnect is and why you feel like you're not valued. But it is also important to listen to the women and their responses to what they were saying in that. Women do not feel protected. Women do not feel supported by the men. Women do not feel valued. And I understand that society, individuals, people moving away from religion, there's a lot of things that play into that.
Angie, can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Can you protect something that you don't have any control of? No.
No.
Exactly. So again,
But I don't think
again,
that nobody should be controlling anybody in a
you should.
relationship.
You should. You should. I'm
No,
gonna
I
tell you
think
why.
it has to do
Because
with
control.
discipline.
No, control is not a bad thing.
So I've been in here just chilling. I was on the phone.
Go ahead, man.
Oh, sorry, guy. Can I respond to all of this, please? Can
Yeah,
I?
go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I do have a response to all of this. I wanted to get back to the original. I think Yarch had asked you, Angie, what women bring to the table. I'm just going to speak from my personal experience to explain where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So I'm 28 now. I've been with my fiance for let's say like 4 or 5 years, right? And before I met her, I was extremely unhappy. Low value. Depression, all of that stuff. And when I met her, Ashley in the comment has said that women are multipliers, and I agree with that. Women do fill a lot of the voids in men's lives, so we need each other. Like without my fiance, I wouldn't even be half the man I am right now. So women do add a lot of value to men's lives, and they do bring a lot to the table. But I will say this, responding to what Angie has said. It is important for a woman to take a certain level of accountability as well when it comes to men and whatnot. I think that's kind of been lost in the translation here in the conversation. That woman, it's on both men and women as well. Men, a lot of men consume pornography. You know what I mean? They don't talk about that. Men, contribute to, the kind of woman they don't even want. They're settling for women because they didn't how do I articulate this? Because men don't have self-worth or value, they go for quote unquote easy women, which is superficial, and it's actually a lack of respect for the woman and themselves, because they're going for the woman that they say they don't want. And then for women, women, it's kind of like the lottery. Women cash in all of their points and stuff for the career, but then forget in the back end, when they're like 30 and 40, most men aren't going to really want that, so it's kind of like you have to have a balance in life, I guess. And I don't know, I just feel like there's no balance where women are doing the career and not doing the marriage, but then men aren't doing anything either. It's kind of both.
Good point. So, guys, anyone have any question that they want to ask? Anyone on the panel? Because it's been a good show today, man. I appreciate everyone. Listen, also give you guys some information.
I have something to say when you're done.
Yeah, on February 8th, live on YouTube on my platform, we're having a panel of multi-guests, maybe 5 to 7 people, and we're going to be discussing mental health. So anyone want to be on this platform, look at my, check out my profile on TikTok. I think all my link is there, Instagram, YouTube. If you want to come on the panel, be a guest in the future for, or discussion like this also, hit me up, DM me, and because our first show going to be the 8th of February, that's a Sunday, and it's going to be at 2 p.m. Mr. Fifth will be on there. Hopefully Zacharias be on there. So a lot of people, we want to get people to come over there and share your thoughts and opinion as well. Go ahead, lovely. Go
ahead. Just to piggyback on what Wavy said about the controlling thing.
Yeah.
I feel like no man or woman should try to control each other, because, especially if you're married, because it's gonna lead to somewhere y'all don't want it to be. Y'all not gonna be together no more.
Yeah, true.
Someone got to be the head.
Not true, but go ahead.
Someone got to be the head, and someone got to be the cool person. Like, both of y'all can't be temperamental and trying to control each other and do this, do that, do this, do that. It's not gonna work.
But the word control, and I knew it was going to trigger people, the word control is just as equivalent as the word submissive. right? And a lot of people don't understand that, right? So not because I didn't use the word submissive, I used the word controlled, mean that it's any different, right? When you're talking about being submissive, when you're talking about someone that that's in control, right? It's a reason why I said control, because again, two things there can't be two leaders. There's never going to be two leaders, right? There will never be two people in the leadership position or in the leadership role. That's the point that I
Someone
was
has to
making.
be the
It
head.
has to be someone that has to be at the bottom of the leader. So just like how there's a boss and then there's the CEO and all of these things, it's just life, right? And again, if you as a woman, right, feels like you can lead, then by all means, lead. Go ahead. And when shit goes left, you don't sit there and you don't blame the men and say, oh
Time
you the
out.
man, you should have
Time
figured it
out.
out. No,
No,
take the leadership and stand on 10 toes and
no,
say, okay,
because
I did something.
at one point in time, I did have to take leadership. My husband had spine and hip surgery. I had to take care of the house and run his businesses. I had to.
Right.
I had to put my big girl pants on.
That's
So
all.
that's why I said what I said. I wasn't saying it to attack anybody.
Hi
Hey
guys, how are
y'all.
you doing?
Hey y'all. Hey Lotus, how you doing? Welcome to the
I'm well,
panel.
thank you.
I've been quiet for like 30 minutes, but hey, answer the question first, and then you can get into the conversation. Then I have actually something that I want to add to the panel so that they understand where I'm going with this topic. So, are women choosing careers over marriage? And before you go, the rules are no foul language, respect the host, which is me and Mr. Yard Chat, and one mic at a time. And hey, we're adults; we can all conduct ourselves in a mature manner and talk to each other. All right, Lotus, go ahead.
I wanted to say, at this point, for like, I'm a single woman. I'm single intentionally, so I am working diligently in my career so that I can submit to a man that will lead me well in marriage. So I can't speak to a married perspective, but I'm preparing myself for marriage by getting my career under my belt so that when I'm led well by my husband, if things have to shift like with Miss Lovely, then I'm able to temporarily lead the household, but I will follow a good leader submissively without question. So I feel as if you're led well, if women, there are a group of women that if we are led well, we have no problem with submitting to you. None. We don't want to be always in the forefront. We want to be behind our men, feeling protected and covered. So, like I said, if you lead well, we will follow well. And I guarantee you, if you have somebody in your perspective that you want to marry, show that woman that you're a good leader, and then that will give her great reason to fall submissive to you. But if she does not fall submissive to you, then she's not the one that you should lead.
I ask you a question.
Sure.
So, do men lead with the husband role at all times, or does men put this on and on every time they have interactions with women?
He's a man is the leader of my household until he
No,
tells
that's
me.
not what I'm asking you, ma'am.
Okay,
That's not what I'm
ask
asking you.
me again. Ask me in a different way so I can understand. Ask me again.
Hey, Wavy, I think I can help it this way. This is what I think ladies are more comfortable with hearing. Lotus, what is the job of the vice president?
To follow what the president does and
But
back him
also, you're
I'm
right.
I'm sorry,
So,
guys. Sorry.
so,
to
so,
support.
so, also to support, right? What
Right.
happens when what happens when the president is not present? What does the
The,
vice president do then?
he
Step
steps
up
up
to the
into that
plate.
temporary position.
Cool. So that's what the marriage is in terms of what I think where Wavy is going.
Right. I
So I
agree.
know
So I
he
was
said
gonna.
words like control yeah, I know he said words like control and submissive, but no one says that the woman doesn't have any type of leadership and roles because she does. If we're talking Bible, it's
Right.
God, man, woman, child. So
Absolutely.
the woman does have a leadership role, and I
Mhm.
think a good example is the how the executive, judicial, and the legislative branch runs in government. How it
Mhm.
should be is that you have the president who is first, but
Mhm.
the vice president can definitely delegate, make rules when the
Mhm.
president is not around. Obviously, we know that because when JFK got deleted, Lyndon B. Johnson was the next one in line.
Right.
Go ahead.
I'm agreeing. No, I'm just agreeing, actively listening and agreeing. You're correct. That's what my point is. I just want to reiterate, and I don't want to beat a horse in the ground, that if you are a good leader, I don't know any women in my circle that are my age that wouldn't have no problem following. And if that time comes that I have to step up into that temporary space to support or to lead temporarily, I'm capable of doing that because I've done the work.
Can I say something really quick? So the reason why I was asking you that question specifically, right, is because what women fail to understand, right, is that only when you are married to someone, or if you in the process of getting married, is when you should be doing the things that you need to be doing, being submissive and all of these things, right?
Right, right.
And then that's wrong. The reason why it's wrong is because a man, however, right? We're talking about different genders now. Not you, but we're flipping the genders from females to males, right?
Mhm.
We are automatically we go into the mindset of providing and protecting for you by any cost and any means necessary. So we're already equipped in that role of these things that you're saying that, well, when I find my husband and I need to be X, Y, and Z, and then I would do X, Y, and Z, right? I would need to do wifey duties first, or he would have to marry me first, and then I would do the wifey duties. When men automatically goes into a relationship or anything like that, with the mindset, even when we're dating, without you guys even knowing it, right? Because if he's dating you and he's paying for the stuff, and his job is to protect you, and also provide for you, and also make sure that you guys make it home safely. So he's already in the mindset of husband. And that's where I think a lot of people get it misconstrued, is because you guys are thinking, oh, well, I'm only supposed to do this when I'm doing X, Y, and Z. No!
I don't think you heard me correctly, friend. And I'm not going against. I'm in agreement with you. I'm just having a mellow tone. My tone is just different. What I said was, right now, my career. I answered the prompt. I'm doing what I have to do in my career. I am starting a trucking business
Ma'am, well, we're
right
not, I'm
now.
not, hold on,
So
before you,
what I'm
Lotus,
saying,
I'm sorry.
before.
No, I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but I'm not speaking directly to you. I just want
Okay.
to get that clear. I'm speaking in general. I'm
Okay.
not talking to you because I don't know you from a can of paint. I don't know what you got going on. If you say
Right.
you're starting a trucking company, congratulations. I hope you see nothing but positivity and
Thank you.
great things this year. That's my wish to you.
Thank
But
you.
I'm not speaking directly to you. I'm just speaking in general. Just so
Okay.
we don't go on a whole monologue about what you got going on and what I got going on. I just wanted to make that clear.
Okay.
All right?
So I have a question for
So,
Lotus. My bad. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, I just want to put something in to just kind of help the conversation. I was trying to earlier, but I was getting ready for my day job. So, one of the things that I think is also a factor on why you have, uh, some women picking careers over a marriage, and obviously it's not all, but women typically operate in the nature of hypergamy, right? So what happens is a woman pursues this career. Her income rises, as it should, because you're accomplishing your goals, right? As your income rises, your demand for the man you want, that what you require his income to be rises too. So what's happening, and I read this somewhere, that a lot of women that are in high earning positions, they are trying to pursue the men in their income bracket. But
Mhm.
here's the thing: men in that income bracket actually don't care about a woman's income like the same way women typically care about a man's income.
Mhm.
A man who is doing very well for himself, or even an average man, understands that, hey, what I'm looking for is not so much her income. I'm looking for how this woman treats me. This is her beauty on the outside, of course, because I'm not going to sit up here and cap like men ain't checking beauty. We're going to do that. But
Right.
also, they're checking, hey, is she cooperative? I say cooperative instead of submissive right now because I know
Hmm.
submissive can be a trigger word for some. Cooperative. If I'm going to be providing for her, is she cooperative? Does she respect me? Respect is bigger than love
It is.
because men should tell women this more. If you respect us, we feel that you love us. You understand? Like that's one of the big things right there. Respect is bigger than love, and so we are caring more about, hey, what kind of mother is she going to be to the children that we may have? Is she going to be supportive? And I don't just mean financially supportive, but moral support. You know, um, does she? How is she going to delegate? You know, God forbid I get sick and I can't work. Is she going to leave me? You know, these are things that come into play for men when they think. So if women are prioritizing the aesthetics, the financials more than the internal things, then this is where they can miss out on a good man because, by example, they could be making 120K a year, but then the guy that's pursuing them only makes 80K, and that's not good enough for her. You know what I'm saying? So that's, I think, one of the challenges that women are having when they jump into their career is trying to find their equal financially. As whereas men, we don't care if she make 20,000, 30K, 40K, 50K. If she's a good woman, we rocking with that. What's your response to that?
Not only that, but we as men, we will quadruple that. If you give us that's the thing, and that's the thing with women. Like women don't understand. I want to say women don't understand men. I would think that you guys are having a hard time trying to figure us out when we're very easy to figure out, right? And the reason why I'm gonna say that is because again, right? A man could take I made the statement earlier. A man could take a woman from McDonald's and make her millionaire in 2 years. It have literally happened multiple times, and it's not because he's a man and it's because he found the need that this woman could be submissive enough and she could follow the rules of the road and authority, and in turn he extends his resources to her and makes her this millionaire that, you know what I'm saying, that she didn't even believe in herself that she could be a millionaire, right? Because again, when we talk about these things and when you think about these things, man, men are we literally play chess. Literally. Our whole life, we play chess. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta understand, like, we're not as difficult as you think we are. We're very simple. And the minute you guys understand that you're not going to meet a man that's making $100,000 a year, but eventually give him some time, you could make over $400,000 or $500,000 a year, you would have more respect for us. Because society has deemed it to where in your mind, he's supposed to be this perfect man because your father told you this when you was growing up. Oh, you a princess and make sure the man is taking care of you. But he don't tell you the other side of it, which is, hey, be submissive. Learn how to talk to your man. Trust your man. Respect your man. And all these things. That's how you reap the benefits of it. You don't reap the benefits of it by just being a woman. You don't.
Listen, guys, hear this. You know, I'm working tonight, but hear this now. I'm back in nursing, right? Check this out. And before I met my wife, I was in nursing way before that. I left it. Then I work in IT Manhattan, you know, in the IT and all computers and all that stuff. And I met my wife. They're married for a while, all that. But check this out. So I used to work on Staten Island, but I used to work in social service. That place closed down or whatever. But the point of the story is this. I was putting an application, going to interview. Guess what my wife did? She put an application at the hospital. I didn't even, I don't, we was talking, but I don't think that she put it in. And she said, yeah. She said, oh, yeah. You know, I said, yeah. The interview's coming. I said, yeah. She did it, and I went back and nursed, got a job. But the point is this. Togetherness. She didn't say, oh, you're not working or this and that. She seek a way to help. She know I'm looking for a job. But she said, you know what? Maybe I could assist them. Maybe if I put in job,
Hmm.
that's the job that call.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Do you see? That's how marriage works. You just because a person is not making $120,000, but together you can make $240,000.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? The mindset. It's the mindset of women these days, and it's not a session of beating up women, but I believe this subject needs to explore deeper more because there have to be. We know the reason why, but there have to be a change in the woman mindset.
Can I say that I think we've also seen examples, like I want to take Neo, for example, because mainstream media is very important, where we see like sometimes women assist or remain loyal and submissive to their men, and they're still cheated
Hmm.
on and given the worser end of the stick.
Hmm.
And I think that's also another reason why they make sure they have their careers, because when they play that submissive role and you help a man achieve something, they value you less. We watch men and they discard the women that was there with them through the struggle for the women that they actually really want. They would discard the women that stayed down. And I see this day after day in mainstream media, everyday life. And I think that's
And
also another reason why women are
I agree
prioritizing
with
their
that.
careers as well.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Angie, but that's a
Yes.
different topic, and I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you. No, it's not yes. It's not yes. Hold on. I'm
Why
gonna
come
tell
I
you why.
can't agree? What do you mean
Hold
it's
on.
not
No,
yes?
no, hold on.
I'm not allowed to
No,
agree. What you mean?
no,
I'm
no,
agreeing with her.
no,
So
hold
we're
on.
in
No, it
dialogue.
wasn't. Ma'am,
We're
ma'am,
no, hold on.
ma'am, it was a joke, but you didn't get it. It's okay. It was a joke.
No, I
But
didn't.
the reason why I'm saying no, right, is because this, right? Because you gotta understand, right? When you talk about these things, most men in this situation, right, that are going out there and that are cheating on their wife is not because they don't love their wife or because they just felt the need that their wife wasn't listening to anything that they were saying, so they go out and cheat. You gotta understand. Even in the Bible, it said that we were supposed to have multiple women, right?
No,
So
Oh,
no.
again, hold on. Again, it's different because men are supposed to have multiple women. No, I'm not saying that it's okay for men to go out there and
That's
cheat.
not what it
I'm
says.
not saying that, right?
mm,
I'm not saying it's okay to go out there and cheat, but men and women cheat for different reasons. Men cheat because when we cheat, it's because we just need to get the rocks off and we keep it pushing. When a woman cheats and she opens her leg to the man that she's shitting on, she is now being conquered by that man. That means that woman has absolutely no respect for her husband or her spouse. She has lost complete respect for him. It's the reason why she go out and cheat. Because if she didn't, she would have kept her legs closed. It's a
Okay.
big difference. And we try to kind of conflate the two, and it's not the same. It's not the same. When men and women cheat, it's completely two different things. Women cheat with emotions, men cheat because the opportunity is there, we're going to take it. That has nothing to do with our emotions or tied to any of those things.
Okay, so no,
Definitely cheat
the
too.
Bible doesn't support having
it sure
multiple
does
women
not.
educated at all.
It sure does not.
It says one man, one woman, anything outside the perimeter is sexual immorality.
Yes, sir.
That doesn't make any sense. Because society was built on the backbone of monogamy, not polygamy. Polygamy actually
It's true.
makes it a lot worse. It creates a lot of problems we have now in today's society. But that wasn't what I wanted to talk about.
Can you give some volume? I could call and hear you.
Hmm.
So you're saying in the Bible it doesn't say that men.
That's Islam.
Okay, the point I'm making is in the Bible. It was
Yes,
in one.
true. You're right. You're right.
Right. It was in. Yeah, you're supposed to be fruitful and not everyone believe in Christianity, right? So I'm just making it as a broad statement. It says you're supposed to be fruitful and multiply, regardless of which. I'm sorry, I can't. Someone's breaking up.
Are you saying despise what religion they are?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, if it's in the Bible, then people follow different things, but it's in the Bible or the Quran, right?
Somebody need to mute. Somebody. Locust. That's mute. Somebody need to mute the mic.
All right, go ahead, man.
Yo, Wavy, man. Oh God,
Can y'all hear me?
I wish you wouldn't have. Wavy, you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here, man.
Yo, I really wish you wouldn't
Yeah.
have made that point. You know why? Because you giving fuel to the day old conversation of men should have multiples and women. Let's not go there because
That's a
that's
different
gonna
topic.
derail the conversation. But
Different topic.
That's what I was saying.
we keeping people honest. But Beyonda, go ahead, Beyonda.
Did you guys hear anything I said at all?
You had a lot of background and
Okay,
your
my
phone
fault.
cut out. So repeat everything you
Okay,
said, brother.
so yeah, I was gonna say that. Well, I responded to Wavy and said that the Bible doesn't say that at all. It says one man and one woman. Anything out of that would be sexual immorality. That includes multiple men, multiple women, or pornography. All of that falls out of marriage.
Right. So
So I wanted to address Lotus actually, because Lotus said that she's a career woman, and I want to ask her or ask you, if the right man came along and he had enough money to support you and him combined without any problems, would you submit to that man and leave your career?
Absolutely. I would allow him to take over this company if he needed to, and if not need be, we could sell it and do if he has a vision under the Lord God Almighty, if he has a vision under Christ, I would leave this business in a heartbeat and follow my husband.
Respect.
Yes.
Respect.
Agreed.
Respect to that. Respect to that.
And I
See,
mean that with everything in me.
can I respond? Can I clear up what I said just now? So I'm not saying that everyone, like I said, I'm against the whole cheating and all of these things. But there is religions where people do believe that be fruitful and multiply and have multiple women, right?
Hmm.
Again, it's not me saying that I follow that religion. It's just me saying that yes, there is religions out there that people do have these talking points with be fruitful and multiply. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm for it because I'm 100% against it, right? Because I feel like it's not fair. And if you have a spouse, you should be catering to her and her only, right? Or him and him only. But for the people that don't, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying using it as a broad statement. I'm just using it as there is words out there that for people that don't believe in Christianity, that there is people out there that believe in be fruitful and multiply. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, but we're all under the we all live in America, I think, and a lot of people here don't really subscribe. Like, if you're not like a millionaire plus or whatever, then a lot of people, like average people, don't like monogamy is the backbone of society, not polygamy.
So I want to attest to something, because a lot of times when I explain myself in circles, men think, what's wrong? It has to be something wrong. There's no way that you would submit to your husband. There's no way that right now you're purchasing a house and you got a little acreage, and when he comes along, it's no longer just mine, it's ours. There's no way that you're praying for your husband right now and you don't know who he is. I pray his friends that are in his circle reveal that they're really friends. There's no way that this could be possible. I don't participate in sexual activities. I don't do that. Have I ever? Yes. But when I decided that I was going to fully follow what I believe in, and that's in Christ, I removed myself off the market, period, 8.5 years. Why? Because I know that if I said that I'm going to have a husband and I pray for him, I'm basically cheating on my husband. Nobody's going to get the opportunity to get the joys and the spoils that I have for him. I have his rib, and I'm going to support him. When he comes along, I'm not an idiot and I'm not any of that. But if he comes along and he leads me right, there in my
Yeah,
heart and soul that I follow him because he's following Christ, and I mean that.
I agree with that. So I guess my question is,
It's got to be something wrong.
right. So I kind of had a question regarding like the Black community. Like, well, a lot of Black women, say that Black men don't choose them and whatnot. I kind of wanted to pose a question to everyone else in the panel, like, if I can, like, why do you think that is? Why do you think a lot of Black men aren't choosing Black women in today's day and age?
But they don't have any respect for black men. That's what it boils down to. They don't believe in the fact that black men could do the things that they're seeing from other races, because of the fact that we were emasculated, and because we was treated a certain type of way doing slavery, and they witnessed us going through these things, is now they think that we're not worthy of doing anything or they're not worthy of treating us because of the way we was, respecting us because of the way we was treated. That's one. Two, for young lady in the comments, please, if you don't want me to be disrespectful, then stop mentioning my wife, please. Because you talking about, oh, your wife, this and the third. You in the comments talking. If you want to talk, you can come up and we can have a conversation. I don't care who you are to this panel or what you are to this panel. We're having a conversation. If you don't you don't like what I'm saying, Princess, you could come up here and we could keep muting me. I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. Not because you a mod means that.
Hey, yo, Wavy. I gotta say something, Wavy. Princess Holton is a family member of the show. All right, so you gotta watch that.
I would just like to say that also, because now we have a God-fearing man that was in the chat, but we also see what his energy was like towards women. Men and women aren't always going to agree on things. It's about how we listen to each other and take in what we all are saying. Everybody has to feel validated, and then we have to take that and figure out what the solution is and how we're going to do better. That's all I have to say.
Princess.
Yep. Hey, everyone.
Now I gotta ask you something because
Yo.
I'm driving.
Yep.
Was you talking about Wavy's wife?
Nah, I said, y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
I said that I didn't
Yeah.
agree with his comment from before, right? And then he said, oh, like, first of all, he was being disrespectful earlier because he told me to shut up. I let that pass, right? So when he said that comment, I said I didn't agree with his viewpoint. And then he said, oh, damn, I forgot what he said. But basically, I said, "Oh, bro, you sounding real." I said, "Why bring it up if you said you don't agree with that viewpoint? It makes no sense, right?" So then he said, "Oh, be quiet. You sound like." I said, "Bro, you sounding real angry. Anyway, I'm like, you got the spirit of anger on you." And he said, "Well, you got the spirit of no man." I said, "Yeah, you speaking. It sounded like you're not happy." Cause you telling people to shut up in the comments, and you talking about not being disrespectful. You the one that said something disrespectful first, right? He cursing in the comments. My point exactly.
Yeah, the cursing, even when I stuck up for her and I said,
Yeah,
like, hey, and it wasn't even me really sticking up for Princess. It was just me saying, like, hey, let's just be respectful. You
that's
feel me?
it.
Because I just don't agree with that. But also the cursing, I noticed that we're also just coming and leading. He's very passionate, and I do want to acknowledge that. But the passion, I also need some facts behind it as well. But I'm done.
That we all said the same thing when he said his comment. We said, "What Bible are you reading?"
Yeah,
We
that's a
don't.
fact.
It doesn't say that. We all said it.
That's
So
Islam right there.
that's
That's the
what I said. I
Yeah.
Quran.
said it's Islam.
That's the Quran.
Shout outs to you, Princess. I just wanted to just make that clear because Princess Holton is a family member of the show, and I will not tolerate her or my co-host, Mr. Yard Chat, being disrespected. You got to treat them like you treat me. I know it's my channel, but they my peoples, all right? So,
Yes, sir.
also want to say to everybody listening, Angie, lovely Mila, I enjoyed
Yeah.
y'all today. I enjoyed the both of y'all. Um, I enjoyed the both of y'all, and I would definitely love for y'all to come back. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all were respectful. You
Don't
know.
condone the disrespect. You know,
Hmm.
it's that's why I've been silent so long, because once you get aggressive and start yelling and cursing and arguing with people, I just be quiet.
I
Yeah. No,
also
I'm with you, and I'm gonna defend y'all because y'all were respectful, and then like I like to keep a panel of We're adults here. There's no need to do all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I let it rock a little too long. I apologize if anybody was offended by him, but I just wanted to make it clear. Um, we know how TikTok is. A lot of people on TikTok are just disrespectful, rude, and angry. Y'all experienced that on the panel earlier because we had to, get some people out of here because of that. You know what I'm saying? So, just we not doing all of that. Like I said, we could disagree, but just disagree respectfully. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Go ahead, Mila. I think Mila was trying to say something, or Lotus. I'm not sure.
No, I'm just agreeing. I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm driving this truck, and so my mouth. I got my headset on, and so I'm sorry about that. I'm just agreeing.
Yeah, no problem. I just wanted to, hey, Lotus, thank you for coming in and being respectful as well. Shout outs to you, Lotus. I want to
Absolutely.
mention that. And then Beyonda, you've been good, brother. I'm just talking to the ladies for a second, but Beyonda, you've been good. I ain't got nothing bad to say about you. Nothing bad to say about you. All right.
It's a breath of fresh air. I want to compliment your live. That's a breath of fresh
Thank you.
air to get on a page that is not like that's moderated well. Let me say that for all you guys that are your moderators and you hosting this, this is a safe space for we women. We feel safe to come here and say our piece. And I'm speaking for all of us, but if I'm wrong, then I'm sorry, ladies. But I feel safe here to be able to speak my piece, and I love the way that you have and your moderators have hosted this section. I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try my best. I have years of podcasting experience, so I kind of have a take on it, and I bring that style to the stream. I'm new to TikTok, but I'm not new to everything else. Okay, so I respect that. Hey, Princess, you're here. I'm glad you're here, Princess. Hello, Princess.
Hey, I guess I gotta answer the question now.
Yes, Princess. Go ahead.
All right, so a woman choosing careers over marriage, I would say yes. And just to piggyback what everyone said, everyone made a valid point. I don't feel like there was no wrong answer. Women are doing it for various reasons. Unfortunately, from what I've seen from my experience, having friends and stuff who do choose a career, they have this career and they go so far, and by the time they want to settle down, nobody wants to settle down with them. I think I said this previous on other lives that we had, where they and they may not even have children either because they was all about the career. And by the time they look and realize, okay, I'm ready to settle down, the men that they do want is no longer available. So I would say yes.
Hey, Princess, you heard my point about, and I want people to understand when I say this, it's not a bad thing. Women could definitely have careers. This is what should be taught, right? Because I know in those Ivy League schools, they teach their daughters pursue that degree, but also don't forget that MRS degree. So they're chewing gum and walking at the same time. Well, that's what's being taught because they understand that, when you're creating families, you're creating legacy, you're passing down the things that you have acquired down to the next generation, into the next generation, because that's how economic wealth spreads across families. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the things that I wanted to keep people honest on is this. Like I mentioned before, it really is hard for a lot of ladies to acquire, and obviously the average woman doesn't make 100K. We know that, and that's not the point that I'm making. But the point is, I'm talking about for the ladies who are high earning. For the ladies who are high earning, one of their biggest complaints is getting a man on their income level or more. Hypergamy is the act of marrying above your social class, right? Hypogamy is the opposite, which men have done, for years, and we don't complain, you know. But I think a lot of women who are high earning, I think their thing is finding the man who fits all of that, but then makes more money than them. And so, I mean, I wanted somebody to speak to that point.
I totally agree with that because what's going to happen is they're going to find that the men that they want in that caliber of that tax bracket is very few of them, you know, and the few that have that kind of money or more aren't looking for the women that have the same kind of money as them. They're going to go for, you know, women who don't make as much, you know. But someone in the chat did mention a point that, you know, and I do know this from experience that there are a lot of men who would rather have a woman who has money because at least if the woman chooses them, it's not for the money, you know. So that is a pretty good point that I heard in the chat earlier.
I'd like to say that at this moment in time, I have one truck, and then in about 6 months I'll have two. So I will have acquired uh, a pretty good amount of money. I mean, I'm not in the millions or anything like that. However, if a man shows consistency at a job, if he works for the city, I do not care. If he's been there for about 20 years, 15 years, I'm 48. So if he's been there a good amount of years and he shows consistency about getting up every day and going to that job, I will most definitely date that man long as he's following Christ. I will date that man. I will marry that man because he's consistent at his job. He'll be consistent in this marriage, hopefully. He'll be consistent with the way that he takes care of his household. It takes a certain discipline to get up every morning and to go to work at a job where you know you're going to cap out at a certain amount and you still get up every day to go get it. That work ethic and that consistency just makes him attractive to me.
But wouldn't you agree that a lot of women wouldn't downsize, even if the man was a man of God? Like a lot of women, from what I've seen and from what I've heard from, you know, people that I know or whatever, they will, you know, say what you just said, but then also whenever it comes to their table, they're like, nah, I want a man who makes money, even though they just said that they would downsize or get with a man who has less money than them.
I mean,
Even if they do, right.
go ahead.
But even if they do get with a man that makes much less money, a lot of women, from what I've heard, from what I've experienced, is that a lot of women don't handle leadership with grace. I would say, I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about
Yeah,
like
yeah,
just
yeah.
in
I get it.
general. I feel like they don't handle it with grace. So like they'll dangle the fact that they make more money than the man over their head. That's gonna make the man kind of like you know, resentful of the woman, you know, and that's gonna kind of like have them butt heads for a long time. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like in practice, a lot of women won't subscribe to that. They won't submit to a man with less money or whatever. But I
I'm
mean,
gonna be
there are.
vulnerable. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But no, you're fine. I was gonna say that, you know, women like you know, from what I've heard, you seem pretty chill. I don't doubt that you would do that, you know, but I just say that in general, women won't do that. Women are not going to have the humility or be humble enough to say, you know what, I need to submit to my man, even though he makes less money. They're not gonna do that.
I'm gonna be transparent, and you can poke a hole in this. That this is where I would come with a problem with him. So I would say to him, honey, I know how to get you in a dump truck. It's the same size as the trash truck. Why don't you do this? I will help start the business and get, you know, things going for you. And you get into this truck and we can make more money and be able to, you know, make sure that our future is settled. If he says no, then that's when we're gonna have a problem. And I'm okay with you guys saying, okay, well, why you don't respect what he says? I'm okay with that. I'm here and I'm transparent. But I would have a problem with that. Because to me, that would say that he doesn't want any more for us than what he already has.
That's fair. I mean, men's pride can be a problem when it comes to kind of stuff. You know, they're not willing to accept help, even if it's from a female. You know, so I do see that point. I just think that in practice, in general, women will kind of like go back on their word when it comes to like, you know, them submitting. You know, it doesn't happen very often, and even if they do submit, they're not gonna do it for long because they already have a certain expectation of what they want in life because they make a certain amount of money. If a woman's making 100K a year plus, they're generally going to want a man who makes that or more preferably. That's just kind of how it is naturally.
Hmm.
But I see your point, though. I mean, if you're giving game, he doesn't accept it, then that's on him. But and other women might say, why can't he come up with this himself? That's what they'll say.
Check this out. I'm going to come from a different point perspective, right? For any person, that's a very tough position to be in, right? It doesn't matter, no gender, a person, an individual.
Hmm.
Just look at it. Just look at it from outside the box of marriage. Just look at it. Is that a very good position for any? And that person mean well. Is that a very good position for that person to be in?
Can you repeat that one more time for me,
Okay.
please?
You're speaking about you went to this person and said, "Listen, we could make some money. We could invest, right? And increase investment." So, and it's a good investment, and most likely it will work. But the person said no.
I feel like when it comes to investments, we have to take into account risk and reward.
But what I'm,
Sorry, go ahead.
let me land, right? But take it to the next level now. He knows and you know it's a good investment. But as a person now, remember, marriage, but you are still an individual. Don't forget that. You have feelings. How would you feel? And you both agree it's a good deal, but he said no. And that's what I say. It's not a very good position to be in. What will we do in a marriage? What will we do? How are you going to handle that situation? That's a tough position to be in, right? For any person to be in. You love the person, you love your husband, but this situation is so rugged. Like it's a good investment, but he decided to say no, it's not going to work. What would we do? That's the end. I'm asking the panel.
Think about this one.
I was going to address someone in the comments. She said, I think her name is Vanessa. She said it's not attractive to have to coach a man. And that is also another thing, women they might not say it, but they will kind of have like a repulsive instinct, kind of like a knee-jerk reaction to like, having to coach a man, or even like, for example, why men don't cry. Like if a man cries in front of you, women they say they want an emotional man, but they really don't really want that, because in practice, they're not going to like it in live, and live, they're not going to accept it. So I kind of agree with that as well. I saw that and I was like, oh, that's a pretty good point.
Well, I would also say this, and it's not so much about coaching, it's about educating, right? We're not talking about college education. Education is not just on a collegiate level. Malcolm X never went to college, but nobody's going to sit up here and not say he wasn't educated. He was the best of us, okay? So, acquiring knowledge, many ways to acquire knowledge, but I do want to say this. If there's something that you know that your husband doesn't know, what's wrong with teaching him that? And we're
Exactly.
not talking about how to shower and clean up after yourself. That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about a certain specialty or a skill that you would think that would benefit the family.
Hmm.
Why not teach that? Because as men, we have no problem teaching our wives what she doesn't know. No problem. And if a woman is a helpmate,
Hmm.
I would think that she wouldn't have a problem. She may know more about stocks and investments in real estate, but he may know more about, HVAC, electrician, those type of skills, handy skills, and other knowledgeable things as well that would benefit the family. How to do good with money. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what do y'all feel about that? Because I don't think it's necessarily coaching. I think it's just teaching, and there's nothing wrong with teaching each other. I mean, in a marriage, you're supposed to learn from each other. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Hmm.
I totally agree with that. My fiance teaches me a lot of things that I didn't know before. You know, she's very good to me as far as we're partners. You know, we do everything together. So I agree with you in that regard. I just think that I think it depends on like what the woman's making as far as like finances. I guess it just depends how much. It depends on the gap of finances that they're making. You know, I feel like the lower the man is in finance, the less she'll. I guess, respect them. And then it'll feel like coaching. Then it'll feel like she's, doing all the work, I guess.
Can I chime in? Beyond. Sorry. I want to speak from experience. I'm in a relationship right now, and I feel like this podcast is very important to me right now because I'm going through a lot right now in my relationship, and we're arguing. And there's a lot of things that my significant other does not know, and I don't mind telling him. But I feel like the disconnect with women isn't really the teaching part. It's the, okay, we might show you something, but then it's afterwards sometimes, not with everybody, because everybody's different. Men tend to do the same thing over and over, or sometimes they act clueless, and a lot of the thing ends up falling on the women. So now they have to support. Now they have to help with, like, not help with the kids, but they are the main caretaker of the children majority of the time. And now they have to take on the responsibility of also having to constantly tell a man as well. And I mean, I agree. I do believe that everybody should be, marriage is a business. At the end of the day, you're there to exchange and support one another. But that's all I have to say.
I wanna chime in on that. Well, I'm gonna say this to the host prompt, to the host's question. This is my teammate. This person, we're gonna be changing each other's pampers at the end of the day. This is hopefully gonna be my best friend, and I'm not gonna withhold anything from him to help him get ahead. Now that's at the risk that maybe one day he may leave me or cheat on me, but I'm going to give him everything that I possibly know how to make this relationship successful, holding back nothing. Society's ideology of whatever it should look like has nothing to do with my household. This is my best friend. This is my partner. This is my teammate, and we have a goal to reach together until we leave this earth. And I'm gonna rock with him like that, whatever I have to show him. Aside from, like you said, bathing your butt or whatever, whatnot. But if he doesn't know a thing, and then he says, "Babe, hey, you're good at this. You know how to start the authority on the trucking company. I do not. And I'm not interested in it. However, if you get it started, put me in the truck and I'll go." So I can acquiesce to that. I can say, "Okay, you cool. That's good. I'm all right with that. I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability, and I don't have any problem with that." So, I mean, that's how I feel about that.
Okay.
I like how you think because what we don't think about. I'm gonna give the mic to the yard. We are so caught up in our youth, and we do a lot of stuff that's not good that we think is cute, but it's not gonna be so funny when you're 80 something years old and you need your husband or your wife to help you get off the toilet because your knees are hurting. Like this is real life. This is let's get all the superficial stuff out the way. Life is better with someone, and it's a natural desire match. That's the thing that God gave us. You know what I'm saying? That's a gift, and I'm telling you, the Bible does say that he who finds a wife finds a good thing, and he obtains favor from the Lord. That means both you and him are covered. Favor is privilege. I'm sure everybody would want privilege. That's above just, basic stuff, you know? And so this is real stuff. This is reality. And I'm telling you, when you look at marriage like that, there's nothing stopping y'all, yo.
Mm.
Agree.
But this for
Let's stay
Angie,
on.
right?
Any thoughts?
Yeah.
I feel it. I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I see your point of view. But check this out now.
Speak from my experience. When you saying you or someone else said, why not teach your man if you know anything of that nature? It was really hard for me to show my husband anything because he felt like he can do everything. So I'm good with finances. He's not. So now it's to the point where he be like, okay, come here, babe. Do this, that, and the third. Make sure this paid, make sure that paid. And let me know how much we got left in the account. So I had to, he didn't know anything about money management. Mind you, he had both his parents. But that was never taught to him. So we in the process of me teaching him now versus 10 years ago. And we've been together that long.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I love what you. That's beautiful. See what I'm talking about? Now check this out now. What he did for you.
Well, he's teaching me how to properly run a business because I didn't know anything about running a business. He's been
Right
doing it
now.
all this time. I just been managing the account.
Hear this now. You heard what you said? You are very talented in what?
Managing,
Okay, and he's very talented in what?
running businesses.
And you came together in what? What
We
you came together, right?
yeah.
And what happened after that?
We made life happen.
Okay, successful, right?
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? This what marriage you have to give up, and this is this problem that people have. This is what I learned. The thing you're weak at, you try to make it strong. But marriage is what you're weak at, and the next person is strong, and vice versa. You get what I'm saying? That's
Yep.
and that's what make the marriage work, because you cannot do without that person, and the vice versa cannot do without you. Then you come as one unit, and it's going to
But
function. You're going to have your mishap, you're going to have
yeah.
your issues, you're going to have but you're going to remember the trust and the love that you put in it, the time have to be valuable to both of your guys, but you both contribute to make it happen. That's marriage too. That's marriage, togetherness. Know what you cannot live in this world by yourself. You're gonna have issues. You're gonna be miserable. You could have millions of dollars. You're just gonna be miserable. You're not gonna be happy. There's something missing. It's a companion.
Can I say this? And I know this is not going to be a popular thing amongst the women, but I have married friends, and they come to me, hey, can you pray with me? Can you touch and agree with me? This is going on in the marriage, da 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 da. And it's not like they're running to me first. They go pray about it, and then they come to me and say, hey, what do you think of that, about this or that, whatever. And so I asked my friend, I said, that scripture you just said, when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing and obtains favor with the Lord. And I said, have you ever considered the fact that you not still being his good thing? Are you still being his good thing? Because he obtains this favor. You can fall out of God's favor. If you're not still being his good thing and you're nagging at him and you don't see the favor in the relationship, could you be the problem? And she looked at me and she said, you know what? I do nitpick at him. I've been nagging at him about this and nagging at him about that or whatever, whatnot. And I said, would you still look at yourself as a good thing? As if every day he came home and this is the same thing that's going on every day? So that was my question
Wow.
to my married friend. Are you still his good thing? And if you're not seeing the favor in your marriage, maybe you're the reason because of it.
Mm, mm. Any other ladies want to respond to that?
That's pretty good advice, I'd say. I'm not a lady, but no one was answering the question. So
Yeah, listen, man. Listen. When facts is spoken in truth, you just have to accept it and look in the mirror. Listen, there in the therapeutic setting, right? There's a thing called the horse concept, which is if everyone's saying the same thing, you got to take a look at it. Hey, man, this person, that person, just take a look at it. Nobody's saying, man, listen, take a look at it. And sometimes we got to take that hard look in the mirror, self-check.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's real. Lotus, that was pretty dope. Because we know in the context of the scripture is that the woman is already a wife
Mhm.
before she even meets her husband, and the man should be a husband before he proposes to a woman. And one of the things that I encourage on my platform and what I've done in my personal life, because I'm not married, but I do date with intention, and that is I ask the Lord to prepare me to be a husband. I spend more time praying for God to prepare me to be a husband more than I do praying for my actual wife, because I feel that if I take care of that first step of God preparing me, then that second step will be a lot easier, you know. And so I think a lot of things are self-reflection. We got to look at ourselves. If things are not going right in our lives, we got to take a step back and just self-reflect. You know what I'm saying? Because there's obviously something that we must be doing or missing that is preventing that. You know. And Angie, you spoke about your relationship. Angie, you there?
I'm here.
Angie, you spoke about your relationship. You spoke about, I don't want to call it tension, but you said you and the guy that you with now are arguing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's one of the things I want to encourage you, right?
Yes.
A good leader is also a good listener,
Mhm.
right? Um,
Yes.
every leader has to follow at some point, because you have to learn to be a leader, you know? And so also there is a such thing as a good follower. That doesn't mean you're a slave, but there also is a such thing as a good follower. And if you're going to be in the future in a marriage and the man is going to be the president and you're going to be that vice president, you learn and then lead at times when you need to. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong, but I would say that, and I'm not talking you out of anything, but I'm just carefully just hearing what you said. I just want you to take this with you, is that a good leader is also a good listener. And communication works this way. Communication is not I speak and lecture you, and then you don't say nothing back. Communication is I speak, you speak, I speak, you speak, I speak. So we got to be fair in our communication with our significant others. I've had relationships where I wasn't always a good communicator in terms of the listening part. I did a lot of talking, but not enough listening, and that's a problem. You know, I've had a woman admit to me that she didn't listen well enough, and that was one of her problems. She had a lot of mouth, but she didn't listen. She heard, but she didn't listen. You see the difference, you know? And
I see
so,
the difference, and I just want to
yeah.
say I can admit where I fall short. Now, I want to
Hmm.
take it because I can see both sides of the spectrum for the most part. And at the end of the day, I'm still a woman, so I don't completely understand men. I will admit that. Something that I did is that I tend to, like you say, some people talk at people. When I get upset, I tend to talk at him. And so we spoke and we talked about how we handle conflict and stuff like that, and how he just shuts down when he feels like he's disrespected or I'm not speaking to him with respect. And so we've worked to change that. We've come up with like other things. So I can admit, like, my mouth was not always this calm. And now I approach I approach it with the same thing, like how it was on the mic. When I feel like people aren't really seeing eye to eye, I'm very big on listening so that I can understand and see where somebody else is coming from. I do believe that the disconnect is that I'm not being listened to. And that's where I say it's important that men listen to their women, because I'm in therapy as well, and I talk, and my therapist is a man, and he goes to church, and he's a God-fearing man. And he tells me every day, you know, if my son brought you home, I would be so happy. You are what I call wife material. The way that you think, the way that you operate, you know, you have a very strong, charisma about yourself. But the men are not listening to their women. Like, when we talk, they're not listening. They think, and I made this point to him the other day. I said, you know, when you're inconsistent, and that's something that bothers me, right? You want me to be understanding and cut you some slack. But when I'm frustrated due to your inconsistency, I must remain completely poised and not speak to you the way that I really want to let off my aggression, right? I said, would that make you happy if I did that? He said no. So I said, why do you think it's okay to be inconsistent with me? And then I just left it at that. So I think that men aren't listening to women. And yeah, you guys could pitch in, tell me what you guys think.
Yeah, first of all, I appreciate you talking about that, because that's kind of like, I'll just give a disclaimer. Me and my girl, we're good. We don't have any arguments, hardly ever. But when you're talking about the dynamic between you and your man, it does remind me of me and my fiance. And my fiance is similar to you in the regard that, you know, when she gets frustrated, she will talk at me. And then when I feel like I'm being, you know, talked down to, you know, it takes me a little bit to, because, you know, if I respond to her frustration the way I want to, it's going to be an argument. So I have to walk away so that I have the, the patience and I have to be poised so that I can respond to her in a calm way. So I appreciate you saying that, but also you're also right. What you said kind of like was talking to me too. I don't listen to her a lot of times. You know, a lot of times it's very easy for people to get prideful, especially men. I do have a lot of pride here and there, and you know, when she's talking to me about certain things, no matter what it is, it can be freaking, you know, talking about her day. You know, I hear what she's saying, but I don't listen, and she gets mad at me whenever I don't, you know, listen to her. So it is, you know, I have to be modest, and I have to kind of like look in the mirror and say, you know, I need to listen more and like not talk as much. So, I mean, over the years, I've gotten better at that. But I mean, yeah, I just wanted to say thanks for sharing that. And it resonated with me a lot. That's why I pitched in.
I just say, I really like all the topics. Like, you are a great man, and I love the way that you think, how you respond, and your ability to take accountability.
Angie, I want to say, I'm going to compliment you as well, Beyond. Angie, I want to say thank you for giving us a transparent view inside your life, because you didn't have to do that. In a world where everybody's posing and being posers, you are transparent and just at face value. I appreciate you pouring your heart out. And also, Beyond, hey, I back her what she says, man. It's kind of, you are an excellent guy. You're excellent. You respond well, and it's obvious that you're listening. And so is the host in Yard Chat. I have rarely come across men of this caliber, and I appreciate y'all as a woman. And I will also want to say that as a black woman, I appreciate you, black man. And I want you to know that pointedly. I appreciate you, black man, all three of you.
Thank you, sister. Hey, I gotta end the stream. Hey, me and y'all chat. Go live Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays on the afternoons, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. We would love for all of you esteemed people, ladies and gentlemen, to come back and chop it up with us. This is a panel of respect. Some things may get heated, but as long as at the end of the day we respect each other, that's all it is. And I'm fair. We got topics for men and women. You know, as a matter of fact, last week we had a topic called "Are Men Afraid of Marriage or Divorce?" So I'm fair. Okay. All right. Hey, all of y'all take care of yourselves. God bless y'all,
God
and
bless
I'll see y'all. Yeah, God bless y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all Thursday afternoon. All right. Y'all take care.
All right, guys. See you guys
You as
next
well.
time.
God bless. Thank
You
you.
too. You too.